It's the TV8 high school football game of the week. Tonight, the Reynoldsburg Raiders at the Gahanna Lincoln Lions. Good evening, everybody. I'm Paul Cox. I'm here along with Mark Munch Bishop. What a beautiful night we've got for football. About 74 degrees. The skies are clearing after a threat of rain earlier on today. No wind. We've got just perfect conditions. And you talk about atmosphere. This is almost like walking into a college football game. They've got buttons out there with the players' pictures on them. They've got programs, the whole 9 yards here tonight.
Paul, I'll tell you, it's amazing. I came into the parking lot today. People are tailgating. They've got the grills out. You look at this beautiful field, and I thought it was the Big Ten game of the week. But there's no doubt about it. We've got a great matchup tonight between Gahanna, Lincoln High School, and the Reynoldsburg Raiders. Gahanna last week, they stuck it to Marion Harding. Always a good football program. 14-0. Coach Koppel said, you got to play defense. They play defense. 29 total yards they gave up to Marion Harding. But keep your eye on Reynoldsburg, Paul. They're tough at the skilled positions. And here's what the coaches had to say about tonight's game.
I think primarily their passing attack is our biggest concern. They lost a couple real good runners a year ago, and I think that with Mike Matheny back, that it looks like they're hanging their hopes on him primarily. And so for us going in, we've got to be ready for their passing attack.
Well, I'll tell you, I think it's going to be a real tough game for us, especially coming off the loss that we had last week. It's, you know, we've got to rebuild our confidence, and the Lions have an extremely tough defense. They do year in and year out, and this is no exception, and they've got an awfully big offensive line that our kids are going to have a lot of trouble with. We're just going to have to, you know, try and eliminate our offensive turnovers and maintain some ball control with the running game, and hope that we're in there right to the end, and then maybe open up towards the end and get into our passing game.
Now, Paul, we're always talking about the length of a football. A first down minus the length of a football. They've got it by the length of a football. Let's measure that football, and we can let people know exactly how much yardage the teams need.
Right, what is the length of a football?
I'm looking forward to this, too.
Here we go. It looks like about 12 inches. Okay. I wonder if that's why they call it a football.
Not a yard ball, huh? And now from the stripe down, we figured it was what?
Stripe down about 2.5 inches. So we'll be able to tell how close exactly they are to a first down tonight. Now, I hope nobody asks us how much it weighs.
We'll get the weight for you next week. We're getting ready for a great matchup between the Reynoldsburg Raiders and the Gahanna Lincoln Lions.
Diamond P Sports, all right. You shooting us here from here then? Anyway. Who's shooting us? You are? Yeah. All right. Here we go, guys. Brian, it's me, you, Jerry. Oh, okay. By the way, guys, we're going to take a beautiful picture here and we're going to great shape here. Huh?
Right now. Okay, Reynoldsburg will receive, Gahanna will defend the shot goal. They had the coin toss down there, but you guys are doing something. I didn't know how to communicate down there. Yeah, we can do that. We would urge you anyway. No, I mean to the truck. I could have communicated, but I didn't know. I'll make it without one. I'm okay. It's messed up. I can't get through.
Okay, I'm Ben. Tell me again. Gahanna won the toss, right?
No, Reynoldsburg won the toss. They will receive, and Gahanna elected to present the foul down there.
George, don't forget W0BV. W08BV. I love you, babe.
What a spirited crowd out there.
Oh, I love it. Are you going to keep your coat on? No, no. I'm going to grab one more piece of pie here.
Tell him my headset I can't speak in it.
Okay. Anyone in the truck? John cannot speak into his headset. John cannot speak into his headset. Anyone in the truck?
All right.
John, you can't talk at all, right? No, he's shaking his head no. John? Okay. Oh, he can hear. He can hear.
Uh-oh. There it is. What's that now? Yeah, that's good. That's real good. Where is that Reynoldsburg? We have extra information on Reynoldsburg here. There it is. Get some weights down here.
I'm just going to use an R for Reynoldsburg and G for Gahanna.
Okay.
Somebody, yeah, well, you guys are good. You're good at reading my abbreviation call.
Yeah, I've been lucky so far.
Yeah.
George Reynoldsburg will be offense first. Okay. Reynoldsburg will be going from right to left. Paul Cox, Mark Munch Bishop back at Gahanna Lincoln High School. We're waiting now for the Golden Lions to come on the field, and here they come.
And Paul, what a sight to see. A high school football program as classy, as proud as you have here at Gahanna Lincoln High School. And thank you for correcting the Munch on that one. It is the Golden Lions, not just simply the Lions of Gahanna Lincoln High School.
It's going to be kind of hard to miss tonight with all that gold out there. What a beautiful setting for a football game, and a big crowd on hand at Gahanna. And they have supported their athletic programs here over the years. As a matter of fact, a lot of the kids, or most of the kids who participate in the program, have grown up right here in Gahanna. They've been coming to football games since they were old enough to walk, and you can be sure they couldn't wait to get out here. What a scene.
Well, you know, it's one of the communities that traits the community a very positive effect that you just hit it on the head, Paul, that people do come down, they come to the games, their fathers bring them to the games, and their older brothers bring them to the games, and on down the line, and it reflects here in the pride of Gahanna Lincoln High School. And of the whole community.
Of the whole community. Let's have a look at the officials for tonight's game. The gentleman standing on the left of your screen, Grant Price, the referee in the white hat. The umpire is Craig Spangler, and going on over toward the right end of the line, Gary Knapp is the linesman. The line judge is Larry Parr, and the back judge is Greg West. Coin toss has already been held, and Reynoldsburg won the toss, elected to receive. Gahanna will defend the south goal, so Reynoldsburg will be moving from the right of your screen to the left.
Paul, something else interesting, if you notice, game balls here at Gahanna for football games, they're donated by different merchants around. Let's get to the starting lineups.
And here you have the Reynoldsburg offense. Number 1 is Dwayne Seabright. Number 7, Craig Rex at the halfback position. Quarterback, Mike Matheny. Good-sized kid. One of the wingmen will be Charles Griffey. Split end, Troy Dursum, number 14. Fullback, Tom Weller, 45. At the tackles, Carl Long and Rusty Young. Tim Perry at center. Guard, Steve Boren. Other guard, Bill Grace. And at tight end, Mark Munyon. We are about set to get it underway now. We'll take a look at that Gahanna Lincoln defense.
And the Gahanna Lincoln defense, outside linebacker Ed Bourne. We've got lineman Hassan Bailey and Matt Ayers. Safety Jason Harmon, and he's a hitter. Matt Queen and Dave Ratcliffe are your other outside linebackers. Tommy Douglas, a tight end. Your middle linebacker, Don Davis. Your tackles, Scott Frazier and David Rowlands. I take that back. Your corners are 18 and 21. Also defensive end, 83, Dustin Hounstein. And another safety, 88, John Sanders.
And back deep for Reynoldsburg, Troy Dursum, Craig Rex, and Dwayne Seabright. And we're underway. Nice high kick comes down to Craig Rex at his own 10-yard line. Starts ahead to the 20, to the 30. Got a lot of room to go, does Craig Rex, and he moves it out to the 40-yard line, to the 42.
Paul, something very important against a stingy defense like Gahanna, the Golden Lions of Lincoln High School. You've got to get good field position on them right away, and something Reynoldsburg did, seizing the moment and trying to get ahead of that stingy Lion defense.
And that was a 40-yard kickoff return by Craig Rex. Ball on the 41-yard line of Reynoldsburg.
They've got 2 men split left, Paul.
As Mike Matheny, the quarterback, number 10, calls the signals, he fakes the give to the first man through and hands it off to Craig Rex. And Craig Rex tries the right side for about 4.
You know, it's interesting. I love the different coaches, how they call the different positions, different names. The Gahanna Lincoln Golden Lion defense has the CRs, and you've got your wingmen, you have your flankers. It's a lot of fun. They have a lot of fun with the kids, and they do a good job.
And you saw number 12, Keith Griffey, check into the game at wide receiver. Checking out was Troy Dursum, so they're the messenger backs, and immediately coming wide to the near side is Griffey, number 12. Now on 2nd down and 6. Right up the middle of the fullback, got good yardage, probably got the first down. That was Tom Weller.
And Paul, good old-fashioned power football behind the center, the guards, the tackles, they all fire forward, and when you get a case like that, it's not so much even strength, but it's a lot of quickness, and we're going to see this here.
Let's watch Tom Weller again, just right up the middle, power football.
Watch the center fire off the ball here for Reynoldsburg. It's a key for straight-ahead football. Look at the center. He is all the way through blocking on the middle guard, and bingo, you're going to pick up a first down like that many times.
So the ball's on the 48 now of Reynoldsburg. Reynoldsburg knocking on the door to get into Gahanna territory. Long count. The give this time is to Craig Rex, and Craig Rex will go almost nowhere. He picked up maybe a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Tough going that time against the left side of the Gahanna Lincoln defense. Number 60, Donnie Davis was there. 51 in on the tackle also was Tom Douglas.
Well, Reynoldsburg still looking to score its first points of the 1987 season. Shut out last weekend by Whetstone, 48-0. And Reynoldsburg on last season was 2-8.
Paul, I want to jump in on something. We said this seems like a college football game. I'm looking at both teams. I thought maybe we were in the Municipal Stadium for a second.
Charles Griffey and Keith Griffey coming wide to the near side, 11 and 12 respectively. And somebody moved a little bit early. Who fired out early? Looked like Steve Boren. the guard who moved a little bit early. Let's see the initial indication. And the call goes against Reynoldsburg, so it was indeed Steve Bourne moving a bit early.
You know, I like Steve Bourne's size. 5'9", 220, perfect position for guard. You come out on the pull, you level anybody coming at you, and watch out for him doing that tonight.
We have 9 minutes and 53 seconds to go in the first quarter, just underway at Gahanna High School. Paul Cox along with Mark Munch Bishop. Hope you're enjoying the TV8 High School Football Game of the Week.
Paul, I'm going to get a nickname for you by the time the season's over. Is that okay?
Okay. Work on that. Dursum wide to the near side this time. A man also out in the wing, and the pitch back goes to Craig Rex. Craig Rex trying the right side, picks up a couple of yards that they lost to that penalty. Got it up to about the 49 where the ball will be spotted.
66 Scott Frazier getting over there in a hurry. And Paul, something impressive that time, the Gahanna defense moved well laterally. They moved well to their left and snuffed the play because Rex has some speed, as you saw from that kickoff, getting outside.
Right. Now it's going to be third down and long, so perhaps we're going to see Mike Matheny throw for the first time tonight on third down and 12. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Straight drop back, fires out there, intercepted off the hands of Rex, and he might have a clear road to the end zone. Matheny's going to bring him down. With the interception, number 88, John Sanders of Gahanna. And Gahanna is in business deep in Reynoldsburg territory.
You know, it was funny that time, Paul, because Matheny looked like he was set, but the receiver just wasn't ready for the ball that time. Popped out, and Gahanna and Lincoln get a good break. We're going to see this one again.
Looked like he may have thrown the ball a bit behind the receiver.
Yes,
there you
he
saw.
did. And I'll tell you what, Sanders, right place at the right time. We'll see Gahanna Lincoln on offense.
So here we go now. The handoff is to Rob Reese. Reese on his feet is hit, spins at the 20 down to the 19.
Good sure tackle that time. 21 over there in a hurry for Reynoldsburg was Chris All.
So Rob Reese picked up about 5 on the play. Make it second down and 5.
And Paul, something interesting right off the bat there. Reese was running north and south. They're going right for the goal line. They're not trying to set anything up. They want to punch it over and take advantage of that first miscue by Reynoldsburg.
Bill Driesbach, the quarterback at number 15. And Driesbach is going to hand it off. Lots of running room. That was Eric Shepard.
And Shepard dragged number 28 from Reynoldsburg for a few yards. That was Matt Shedenhelm on the tackle. Last week, Shepard against Marion Harding, 11 carries for 69 yards.
And as a matter of fact, he picked up the first down. So Gahanna is in business. First down, goal to go, 8-yard line. And now the officials, no, it's going to be Reynoldsburg calling a timeout. Well, the momentum from defense or from offense to defense has shifted so quickly to Reynoldsburg. They've just got to take a minute or so here to think things over as you look at the great crowd here tonight.
And you know, it's very important what you said. The kids have to get set. It's apparent by those first 2 running plays. Reynoldsburg wasn't caught off guard, but they were not ready to put their defensive game faces on yet. They're going to take a second, a very, very smart timeout by the coaching staff of Reynoldsburg there, Paul.
7-3 last year for Gahanna, and Gahanna, one of the traditional powerhouses in high school football for Central Ohio. As a matter of fact, when you're talking Gahanna, you're talking success in athletics of 17 varsity sports in 1986, 14 produced winning teams.
I like that one.
It's a marvelous record.
And once again, a tribute not just to the athletes, but to the entire program, to the teachers, to the coaches, and to the community in general, Paul.
And again, if you want to come out here to see a football game at Gahanna, you better be prepared to come early. You had some trouble finding a place to park, I understand.
I did with all the tailgaters. In fact, a couple of people were saying, Munch, join us. I said, I have to get up to the booth, but I'll join you after the game. Keep the grill hot.
Okay, here we go. Gahanna now going over the ball. Look at the size of Mike Holmes, 6'8", 337.
I'd like to run behind him.
It's number 73. And the handoff is to the fullback, Dave Radcliffe, and Radcliffe trying to cut it wide, picks up nothing.
Great defensive play by Gary Young, the senior. Paul, he was right there, met him, strength, wrestled him right down to the ground.
In fact, he may have, well, did he lose a yard on the play? It's about the same spot. So let's call it second down. Goal to go from the 7-yard line.
Now remember, it's a football, not a yard ball, right?
Matt Ayers, number 21, going wide to the far side. You saw him at the top of your screen. Now Driesbach, the handoff to Shepard. Shepard on his feet. Touchdown, Gahanna. Good drive by Eric Shepard, number 22.
And the one thing you have to, we'll check this one out. Eric Shepard would not be denied. You have to give the kid a lot of credit on this one. He saw the goal line. It was going to drag anyone in his way. Just a simple handoff. In fact, he's running behind the big side of the line, Paul Cox.
Ran
right there. Nice cut inside. Drags a man. 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Gahanna.
Ran right behind Mike Holmes there, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
So it's 6-0 Gahanna.
You got a helmet and pads for me?
I wouldn't want to be down there.
I'd like to punch one over behind Mr. Holmes.
To kick the point after will be number 17, Ed Bourne. Craig Mitchell will hold for Gahanna.
Ed also doubles as a tight end.
Good snap. Straight on kicker. It was blocked, but there's a flag on the play, so perhaps Reynoldsburg may have gotten a jump on that snap. They're coming back. Let's see what the call is going to be. That doesn't look like it. Illegal procedure is the call against Gahanna, so the score will remain at 6-0.
The scoring drive that time for the Gahanna Lincoln Golden Lions. I'm going to make sure I throw Golden in there all the time. 24 yards, 4 plays. They used 1:26 of the clock, and of course the scoring play, an 8-yard run by Mr. Reeds.
So
Wasn't Shepard on that touchdown run?
Matter of fact, he was.
Yes, Mr. Shepard on the touchdown run. Now, Paul Cox, I've had a long day. People say the much isn't as sharp as it used to be. I caught that one. Where's our statistician? Get him over here.
Well, he wants us to mention his name. Should we do it now?
Make him wait for the credits on that one.
A little later on. 7:34 to go in the first quarter. Gahanna out to a 6-0 lead after the interception by John Sanders. So Bourne to kick it off again for Gahanna. And again going deep. Craig Rex along with Brett Sharper. And I believe that's Lance French back there on the far side for Reynoldsburg.
You know, Paul, it surprises me sometimes. A lot of teams use 3 deep men. I would think that they'd want a little more blocking up front. Let's couple of your speed merchants back there to burn it upfield for you. But once again, I'm in the booth. I'm not on the sidelines. And you're not in agreement with me.
Well, it's kind of hard to argue with a 40-yard kickoff return initially. Let's see what they do this time. And the kick is going to come down again to Craig Rex on his 5-yard line. Out to the 20, to the 25. Again, spins forward and a good return to the 30. So give Craig Rex, number 7, 25 yards on that return, and Reynoldsburg will try to move it again against Gahanna. Well, Reynoldsburg had the ball moving. They just had a miscue in that 3rd and long situation to throw for the interception. Let's see if the Raiders can pick it up here.
The procedure penalty didn't help either. I think it's going to be important today for Matheny to put the ball in the air a few times just to get things moving and spread the Lincoln defense out a little bit.
Mike Matheny calls the signals for Reynoldsburg. He's going to hand it off to Rex, number 7. Rex cracking the right side, picks up a couple. Boy, it's tough going in there.
Real good hard tackling that time. 60's on the tackle for Gahanna. 51, 60 is Davis. 51 is Tommy Douglas. Davis looks like our buddy Lamar Bailey last week from Centennial. He's all over the field defensively.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. Clock running with 6 minutes, 45 seconds to go, first quarter. Gahanna struck first, leads 6-0. Now Matheny to Rex again. Rex looking to the left side. He's going to be hemmed in and tripped up. And the man with the hands on him was David Rollins, number 78. Rollins slowed him down, and a couple of teammates came in to secure the tackle, but a good job by Rollins.
Paul, once again, a lot of the younger players watching the game today, they tell you about the sure way to tackle a player. Right there, you get them on the ankles, down low around the legs. I don't care how big a person is, they're going to go down if you get a good grasp on them.
That was the 5th carry for Craig Rex. He's picked up 10 yards. Now wide to the near side, Tony Dursum and Charles Griffey for Reynoldsburg on 3rd down and 8. Now the handoff to the fullback. He's going nowhere. Faked it to Rex and handed it off to Tom Weller, and Tom Weller and the play did not fool Gahanna at all.
I'll tell you what, they stayed home. The Lions did their homework, and 38 will be dropping back to get the punt. That's Donde Smith.
On 4th down and 9 yards to go, so Gahanna really sewed up Reynoldsburg on that drive. And it'll be Mike Matheny to kick it away.
Paul, looks like they're going to set up a return here.
High snap to Matheny, but he got it off. It's end over end. And it's going to bound around and roll dead at the 43.
That was interesting. Gahanna Lincoln only had 3 men down at first. They shifted and they sent 5 guys, and Matheny just got that punt off. He did a good job in spite of the pressure that was applied by the Golden Lions.
Mike Matheny, one of the co-captains of Reynoldsburg. he and Carl Long. So Gahanna now going back to work as you see Bill Driesbach trot into your picture. Driesbach is a senior, 5'11", 170 pounds.
And good stats on him last week against Marion Harding. 8 for 11, 0 interceptions for 94 yards.
5 minutes, 6 seconds to go now. Gahanna looked like a bit of a false start, but no whistle. And there's a breakaway. This is going to be a touchdown for David Radcliffe, the fullback. Look at that.
Oh, he's off to the races.
My goodness, David Radcliffe hit that hole, and he was gone.
And you know what's interesting, Paul? The last time the Lions ran the right side of their line, this time they looked left side, and bingo, he was off to the races.
Let's see what Radcliffe did to get himself free.
No, I take that back. He ran right behind center and cut left. And it's a foot race, a 44. It just couldn't keep up with them. Trying to tackle that time for Reynoldsburg was Lance French. There you have it.
That didn't take long.
Paul, those look like the Munches stats from high school. 57-yard average carrying on the day for Mr. Radcliffe. 27 seconds, scoring drive.
And the point after is good, but there is a flag down on the play. So it looks like Gahanna may have to do it over again.
Seriously, that scoring drive, 57 yards, one play, 27 seconds,
and
Radcliffe on the run.
And lest we insult Mr. Radcliffe, it did not take him 27 seconds to run that 57 yards. That part of that time was
when
run
the ball
off
was spotted.
Well, when the ball was spotted,
Yes.
right.
No, in fact, I'll tell you what. If he's listening, Paul Cox said it took him 27 seconds to run the 57 yards.
So it is 13-0 with 4 minutes and 54 seconds to go in the first quarter. Gahanna leads 13-0 over Reynoldsburg. We'll be back after this.
This is unbelievable. This crowd is unbelievable.
Paul Cox along with Mark Munch Bishop. Now we're back at Gahanna High School, where Gahanna leads Reynoldsburg by a score of 13-0. 81 yards so far and just 5 carries for Gahanna.
And Reynoldsburg, a la Mr. Rex, 5 yards on 7 carries.
Tremendous crowd. Great night for football here in Gahanna.
Well, every time I look around, I'm surrounded by a sea of gold, a sea of blue, and even the Reynoldsburg Raiders have a great contingent here today from the east side of Columbus. Got a lot of good football ahead of us here tonight.
Ed Bourne to kick off again now. And again, he boots it right down the middle, this time into the waiting arms of Aaron Browning, number 30. Browning up to the 20, to the 25, and bangs the middle of the line up over the 25 to about the 27.
Well, you got to love those special team players, the headhunters. They just throw themselves down there, and it's good to see the guys with the numbers, too, like number 10, Sean Zimmerman in there getting down. You expect a lot of the linebacker-type size guys to make tackles, but it's good to see them hustling down there.
So let's see what Reynoldsburg can do now. They're going to send number 14, Troy Dursum, wide to the far side, along with Charles Griffey. 2 men also in the backfield. As Matheny calls the signals, runs into one man, hands it off to Rex, and Rex for no gain.
41 and 60 there quickly for Reynoldsburg. 60 once again, Don Davis. 41, Matt Queen. I think I'm going to be seeing number 60. I'm sure Mr. Rex is going to be seeing it in some dreams, for probably nightmares for him, for a few nights.
Well, Rex has been finding it tougher going the last couple of drives, and that was really indicative right there. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. In fact, Rex just trotted off the field. No injury, just out for a breather.
Keep an eye on Don Davis. He's playing the middle there. And if I didn't know that was number 60, know that was Don Davis, I think Dick Butkus or maybe Ray Nitschke was roaming the field.
The next play for Reynoldsburg, the same result. Aaron Browning was the ball carrier. And Browning picked up maybe a yard on the play. Let's call it 3rd down and 9 to go. So another throwing situation for Mike Matheny. And back into the play from the bench is Keith Griffey.
And it's interesting, Paul, because you can be assured that Gahanna Lincoln knows they're going to have to put the ball in the air. It's going to be a lot of fun. A cornerback has fun in a situation like that. So does the free safety.
Griffey and Griffey go wide to the far side. Matheny, straight drop back now. Lots of pressure. He's going to go down.
And no secret about that one. Number 66 in there quickly for the Lions. Scott Frazier 240 pounds of defensive tackle, of hard-charging defensive tackle. We're going to see this one again. Matheny doesn't even get time to set. Now look at Frazier. There's 78, and now Frazier just beats his man on the right side of the line. He's got Matheny in his sights. Mr. Matheny knows it's time to go down.
Okay, here we go on the punt now. Good snap from center.
Very nice kick, Paul.
Nice hang time. Fair catch called for and taken by number 21, Matt Ayers. So with 2 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the first quarter, the score, Gahanna 13, Reynoldsburg nothing. Okay, back we are at Gahanna High School. Gahanna now in action and with the lead, 13-0. Bill Driesbach, the call, is going to hand it off to Radcliffe. Radcliffe, more room. He picks up about 9, and Radcliffe, on the heels of a 57-yard touchdown, almost breaks another one.
Paul, and I like that play. The quarterback right off the back, Driesbach, kind of slid down right, a little counter handoff, and Radcliffe said, give me the ball, I want to run with it, and he sure did a good job.
Got to be tough as a defense to know just which way the ball is going. And Munch, we've got a timeout for a measurement. Now we have a chance to put our scientific football measuring principles into action
and
here.
We said that football, just like you said, is about a foot long.
About a foot long.
We've got 2.5 inches from the end of the white stripe to the tip of the ball.
Right. I guess it's about 6 inches from the tip to the middle, wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Let's see where he puts it down. About 6 inches short. He picked it up rather picked it up by 6 inches.
Or half the length of the football, right?
Half the length of the football. So the Gahanna Lincoln Golden Lions have the first down. Ball in Reynoldsburg territory at about the 47-yard line.
Paul, also let's don't neglect the wonderful, wonderful marching band here, the pride of Gahanna Lincoln High School. And they just have the whole end zone covered.
In motion goes Reese, and the handoff goes to Radcliffe, and they smelled out Radcliffe that time. Radcliffe snowed under for no gain, maybe lost a yard in the play.
35-28 on a hit immediately for Reynoldsburg. 28, Matt Schettenhelm. We'll be hearing more from him. And 35, Gary Young, kind of like the Young brothers in there, you know, Jesse or whomever, or Frank. They did a good job of stuffing that. And a play like that's going to be big for the Reynoldsburg Raiders. They've got this hostile crowd. They're down 13-0. They need to dig in.
So officially no gain. Number 16, Dwayne Higgins in the lineup for Gahanna. He's wide to the far side. Again, Reese in motion. And a flag in the backfield as Driesbach keeps and picks up good yardage. About 8 yards in the play, but 2 flags down in the field.
Paul will check the flags, but I like this Mr. Driesbach. The kid runs the option, does it real well. The secret to running the option is you don't have to be shifty only with your body, but your feet. You have to move them in different directions while you are moving downfield.
So the penalty is going to be against Gahanna. 1 flag thrown at the line of scrimmage, the other thrown in the backfield. It's going to be a 5-yarder, must be a procedure penalty. Let's get the call from referee Grant Price. Motion call against Gahanna, so that's going to make it 2nd down and 15. With 1:39 to go in the first quarter. And nothing but impressed so far with the Gahanna offense and defense. As wide to the far side again goes Dwayne Higgins. Man in the slot to the right also. You can't see him in your pictures. Driesbach drops back to throw on 2nd down and 15. Right over the middle. It's caught. Nice grab by Dwayne Higgins.
Oh, and did he throw a rope, Paul Cox? He couldn't have put that in there any better. Through a couple defenders. Perfect reception.
Down to the 36-yard line. Again, that's going to be so close to a first down that they may have to measure again. Yes, they are, as Grant Price calls timeout. Again, no hash marks here on the football field at Gahanna, as we did not have last week at Centennial, and it's a bit hard for us to tell right from our vantage point just what the call is going to be until they bring out the chain.
Another first down, I'd say by -2.5 from the stripe by about 9.5 inches.
About 9.5. And you got to give Dwayne Higgins, the receiver, a lot of credit for knowing exactly where that first down marker was.
And he ran his pattern perfectly. The pass was there, and he went forward, definitely not sideways, something a good receiver does. Always goes north and south.
1st and 10, Gahanna. Reynoldsburg 37.
Unless
Clock
your
running.
field runs north and east and west, right?
Which it does not this week.
Right.
Now the handoff to Radcliffe. Radcliffe over the 30 to the 29 and brought down. Radcliffe, number 45. He is a senior, 188 pounds, packed on a 5'11 frame. Also sees action at outside linebacker.
Now, Paul, you're going to see pure power football. There's nothing fancy about this one. Ratcliffe takes it. He goes over to the right side of the line. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers in front of him. The Reynoldsburg Raiders did a good job to stop him.
On 2nd down and 3 now. Man in motion, the handoff. No, it's going to be this time Driesbach keeping. Driesbach on his feet over the 20 to the 19. First down by a long shot. Driesbach with a good pickup.
And I'll tell you what, Mr. Driesbach is so shifty. He fooled his linemen. He fooled the crowd. They knew the play, but they didn't realize he still had it. And oh, this kid is great running the option.
So another.
Look at this. Now, there's one fake handoff. No, he tucks it in. Everybody thinks Ratcliffe has it, and Driesbach is tailing. Oh, look at that. And he's still kicking and driving. You got to love the kid, Paul.
Such a skillful faker. Now he hands it off this time to Reese, and Reese finds no running room at all on the left side.
Great defensive play that time by Reynoldsburg. 35 getting over there in a hurry. Gary Young, and once again, Gary Young's name and Schenhelm keeps coming up, as well as the rest of the Reynoldsburg defense.
We have come to the end of the first quarter. No time left on the clock at the end of the first 12 minutes of play. The score is Gahanna 13, Reynoldsburg nothing. Back after this.
Hey, you know what? It's 13. This is exciting.
Go.
Got about a half left.
Okay.
I mean, not to slight Reynoldsburg, but if it keeps up this exciting, even with all the scoring, it's going to be easy.
Yeah. Except they're going to start substituting, then we're going to have trouble.
Yes. Wow.
Paul Cox, Mark Munch Bishop back at Gahanna Lincoln High School, where you see the homestanding Golden Lions of Gahanna Lincoln have a 13-0 lead over the Raiders of Reynoldsburg.
You see the happy Golden Lions cheerleaders. Where's the line? Let's get the mascot in there. Come on. Where's our camera guy? The person behind the scenes, the man or woman behind the mask. I want to see that Golden Lion mascot, Paul Cox.
Gotta be a hot night to be wearing the lion mask. So Gahanna with the football now. Over the ball goes Ed Voigt, your center. He's 5'11", 190, wearing number 55. Driesbach with the call. Now drops back, fakes one, throws over the middle. It is caught. There's Radcliffe. Touchdown.
And Paul, a secret to that play is Gahanna's running game has been so effective. Just a simple little fake into the middle of the line, and we're going to get to see just a perfectly executed play. Now look at this. Just a simple little fake. Driesbach sets up, throws out in the flats. Downfield touchdown.
And nobody around. Reynoldsburg took the fake, and that just left Radcliffe all alone. In fact, nobody even had to throw a block for him.
You know, I'm thinking of a word from history that was used in World War II called blitzkrieg. And it sure seems like the Gahanna Lincoln offense is a little bit of an infantry today, just marching down the field.
Well, blitzkrieg meant lightning war, and we certainly have seen that tonight. Ed Bourne, number 17, to kick the point after for Gahanna. Straight on kicker, and it is good. And for the first time tonight, we do not have a flag on the point after play. So Gahanna striking just 6 seconds into the second quarter to take a 20-0 lead. And again, this looks kind of familiar. A 57-yard drive.
On 7 plays, 2:42 run off the clock. The scoring play, a 20-yard pass, of course, from Driesbach to Mr. Radcliffe.
And that comes with 11 minutes and 54 seconds to go in the second quarter. Well, Gahanna has really picked up the pace offensively. Reynoldsburg, and meanwhile, the defense has not allowed the Reynoldsburg offense to stay on the field very, very long at all. And Reynoldsburg is going to find that perhaps as the game wears on, the defense is going to begin to get tired.
Well, Paul, something else that happens in high school games when you have people playing both offense and defense, you know, they get tired in college and pros when people don't play, when they just play one side of the field. The players leave and tire out more quickly now, and it will add to offensive woes also as the game goes on.
That's one of the things Coach Phil Koppel was talking about after last week's victory was the superior conditioning of this Golden Lion team, and that certainly is going to pay off as the game wears on. Not a very hot night, though. Is somewhat humid, but just a perfect night for football. So Gahanna to kick it off now. Nice high end over end kick is going to come down to Craig Rex. Starts out from the 10. Right up the middle goes Craig Rex, and he's smacked down as he reaches about the 28.
You know, I like the way Craig Rex runs. He's not all that big. He's, 5'9", 155? But he doesn't mind putting his head down. If he runs away from you, he'll do that with his speed. But if you want to take him on, he's going to punish you to make a tackle, Paul. There's no doubt about it. Good young ball player.
So let's see if we can get some yardage now for Reynoldsburg.
I'll tell you what, once again, if you can, keep your eye on number 60 for the Gahanna Golden Lions, Mr. Donnie Davis. Does a great job on defense there, filling the middle.
Number 63, Tim Perry, over the ball for Reynoldsburg. Matheny now is going to throw a quick hitter at the 32-yard line. That's complete. Brought down after about a 3-yard gain. And with a reception over there was Troy Dursum.
Now, Paul, you're going to say, a lot of people say that play only gained 4 yards. Very, very good play call. First down, spread them out a little bit, let them know we're going to throw short, we may run, we'll throw long, but we're going to mix it up on you. And plus, Reynoldsburg's got to gain some yards to get the confidence back in the kids, because they've got a very good offense. There's no doubt about it.
Well, if they can get a couple on the board here in the first half and keep Gahanna off, we got a football game. Second down now and about 5. He's going to throw again. This one is complete to number 3, Brett Sharper, and Sharper smacked down immediately, but close to a first down. In fact, if the ball spot by the referee is correct, they'll have that first down.
And they do give him the first down. Hassan Bailey with a good pop. But Paul, just like we said on first down, second down, just about the same thing. A few more yards up and spread them out. And they can give Rex some running room and also a couple other backs, and it should be fun.
Brett Sharper, a sophomore who wears number 3 for Reynoldsburg, 5'11", 160.
And he got popped. That was a tribute for him to hold on to that football, Paul.
Greg Rex and also Tom Weller in the backfield. Now he's dropping back as Matheny looking to throw long. This time it is over his head. It was intended out there for Troy Dursum, but overthrown by a couple of yards at the Gahanna 40.
A couple Lions out there on the coverage, but ball was simply overthrown. Not much room for the receiver to run. He was running out of territory there, Paul.
10 minutes and 28 seconds to go, first half.
Now, that was an interesting pattern, too, for a long pass, because a lot of times you throw a long pass, the receiver will cut back into the center of the field. He has more room to maneuver. He has a better chance to get to the football.
10 minutes, 28 seconds to go, first half. As Matheny now calls the signals. In motion is Griffey. And Matheny over the middle, intended for Griffey, but behind him. So it looks like Munster are going to try some short stuff here to spread them out, as you've said.
Well, the running game hasn't worked quite as well as I'm sure Coach Sass and the rest of the staff from Reynoldsburg would have liked it to. But Matheny's a good passer, a good ball player. He's heads up. He's got the size. He's got good speed also, and he might spread it out. He may take off with the football, Paul.
Well, he's got a tough decision to make this time on 3rd down and 10 yards. Again, Reynoldsburg in a crucial situation as Matheny drops back now, looking to throw long again. Up the sideline, he's got a man. That's Dursum, driven out of bounds at the 22, but I believe he stepped out at the 33, and now a flag. Now a flag is thrown on the far side of the field.
Let's see what happens here. If we can get a look at it, Matheny is going to get leveled. What a great quarterback. Just a little pump fake. He picks up some blocking, and he got popped. But the ball, look at that. He catches it in stride. Paul, you can't throw a football better than that.
Nice throw to Dursum. Dursum stepped out at around the 30, a 28-yard reception. Now, there was a flag after the play.
Now, could that have been a...
and it looked like it may have been a personal foul of some sort.
That's what I'm wondering.
But I don't believe I saw who it was on, so I don't want to say at this point. We'll just wait for the officials to make the call.
You know, hay fever season's pretty much over. I don't think it was a hanky.
And it was yellow. Unsportsmanlike conduct, the call on Reynoldsburg.
Oh, my. The
And
Raiders get a big pickup.
And I think I saw one of the Raiders pick up the football and throw it at one of the Gahanna defenders, and I think that was the call. I think he thought he was hit out of bounds after the play had ended, and he picked up the ball and threw it in retaliation.
Well, there's a little bit of restraint, Paul, but as we used to say in the streets, a little bit of in-your-face will cost you 15 yards.
That is something we did not catch on the replay. It was a 28-yard pickup. Well, let's see now. That was marked from the point of the reception. So a 28-yard pickup. 15 of that has been nullified, a little over half of it. So it's going to be first down and 25 to go for Reynoldsburg. First down, the first down marker at about the 23.
Well, one thing Reynoldsburg knows, they can't move the football downfield, and he comes right back.
Another long shot, and that is just overthrown. It was intended again for number 14, Troy Dursum.
And that was great coverage that time.
Matt Ayers, number 21, the senior, was right out there on Dursum.
Well, something we'd like to point out, last week, and luckily Grandview did not succumb to it, but Centennial almost had a couple of scoring opportunities because of Grandview miscues, and sportsmanship plays a key role in the game. You saw an example of it right there. Reynoldsburg would have been knocking on the door. Now they're back right around the midfield mark.
With 10 minutes, 11 seconds to go, first half, Gahanna leads by a score of 20-0. There you see it, second down, 25. And Matheny wants timeout. He looked over his line, didn't like what he saw. So, 10 minutes, 11 seconds to go. The score, Gahanna 20, Reynoldsburg nothing. Back after this. Yes. Well, for all you professional wrestling fans, TV8 now has 4 hours of grappling a week.
Hold on, I'm going to get you the headlock.
That's a good half Nelson there. Mondays and Fridays at 5 and Saturdays at 3:30 and 6. You think we could talk like those guys? More hammerlocks and you can...
Cox, I want you!
Worldwide Wrestling and Power Pro Wrestling on Channel 8.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I thought I saw a little bit of a late hit that time, but 78 held back for Gahanna, and Matheny was pressured once again by that great Gahanna Lincoln defense.
Just swarming all over Mike Matheny, number 10, the quarterback for Reynoldsburg. And that's going to make it third down. And the ball is halfway to Whitehall by now.
Nothing malicious about that hit. I said, I thought there was a late hit. It was just a spirited surge that time by the Lincoln defense ball. And you're in motion. You're not going to be able to stop just because a man's going down. Good job that time by the Lion defense.
It's going to be third down and 30 as Dursum now comes wide to the near side.
Wait a second. They had first down, deep downfield. Now third 30. Things change quickly.
In their own territory at the 46. Matheny, straight drop back. Lots of pressure again. Just gets it away. It was intended loosely out there for Charles Griffey, number 11, but Griffey had absolutely no chance to make the reception.
And Paul, we talk about a swarming defense. Not one, not two, not three, but 4 Lions coming off of Mr. Matheny. They are beating that Reynoldsburg offensive line to the punch, and it's amazing because Reynoldsburg, one of their keys, they have a great offensive line.
Lots of size up there, but apparently the quickness, and I think we're seeing the quickness is the factor tonight.
And John Sanders, 88, was dropped deep that time on defense, and that's a fun time to be playing center field when you're on defense with a third 30.
Donde Smith stands back on his own 20-yard line. Low snap to Matheny. He's going to have to hurry to get it off. He does not. It's blocked. Ball bounding around at the 30, at the 25. They wrestle for it. It's not going to make any difference. It'll be dead once it's touched. And finally picking it up for Gahanna was Tom Douglas,
and Paul,
number
you
51.
gotta love it. Tom Douglas, a center, a defensive end. He doesn't handle the ball that much. He picked it up. It got away from him. I can just imagine he was saying, "Get back here, get back here."
He picked that up. He was going to be long gone no matter what.
And once again, we're seeing something tonight. The Gahanna Lincoln defense is showing us, Paul. They're beating Reynoldsburg off the line on offensive plays. They're beating them off the line. That has been the second punt that Matheny's been pressured on, and they got to that one.
And again, it was a poor snap from center. Matheny had to field the ball off the ground on the short hop. Looked like Sean Dunston there trying to pick it up and throw it to first.
Hey, Cubby, I was going to say Jose Uribe. Now watch this. Gahanna smells the goal line. They want to put... I thought I saw somebody move there on the right side.
No flags, though. And the give went up the middle.
But I'm gonna stick to just doing a commentary, okay, Paul?
That was Reese on the carry. And again, Driesbach faked so skillfully there, I couldn't tell who had the football. There you see checking back in, number 73, Mike Holmes, 6'8", 337. That's 337, believe it. I'd like to see him standing next to Craig Mitchell, who weighs 129.
I think odds are they're going to run around Mr. Holmes' side again.
And the
Yes,
give
they
on
do.
second down right over Holmes with the football was Tracy Doss. And Doss got it up over the 10, pretty close to a first down. Looks like he's about a yard or so short. Let's see where they spot the ball.
Paul, one thing that just impressed me about Mike Holmes, for a gentleman with that size, he was quick, he fired out, he was 5 yards downfield looking to hit somebody.
Nose of the football, rest on the 10-yard line, third down, 2. Griesbach right up the middle goes Doss. And Doss picks up the first down, got it to about the 7.
Well, Tracy Doss, a hard-charging runner also.
Tracy Doss, 5'7", 180 pounds, and a senior. He's in there at fullback. Also, you see Todd Page in there at one of the halfback positions. He wears number 35.
You know, what a luxury it is for Coach Koppel and his staff here to be able to rest a couple of the frontline players, because they know Reynoldsburg is far from finished, and Gahanna could use another touchdown here to put the pressure on the Raiders.
And the give is going to be to 35, Todd Page. There's another new number in there for you, 5'11", 162, a senior.
Good tackle that time by 21, Chris All for the Raiders.
So it's going to be second down, goal to go from about the 8-yard line, make it about the 7. Clock running down to the 7-minute mark, 7 minutes left to the end of the first half.
Something else I like about Bill Driesbach, not only is he a great athlete, but he's a leader, Paul. He takes charge in a huddle. You could just see him, and the Gahanna team rallies. Well, they rally around each other.
Higgins wide to the near side as the handoff goes again to Tracy Doss. Doss trying the middle.
A little bit of shoving in there. Come on, guys. You're there to play football. Tough man contest isn't going to be around for a while yet, right? Paul, talk about things that scare you. Tough men contest used to scare me.
Never wanted to participate in one of those.
I never wanted to go watch.
Right. Dangerous men, all of them. Third down, 5. Third down, goal to go from the 5.
Look at Driesbach check over that line.
And Driesbach, looks like there may have been a fumble in there and a scramble. And Reynoldsburg comes up with it. How about that? The Reynoldsburg Raiders turn away Gahanna as it was knocking on the door. Third down and goal to go from the 5.
Paul, the way the Gahanna, Lincoln Golden Lions have moved the football today, that not only, we could look on paper and say, well, they stopped them inside the 10-yard line. No, they stopped the team that has scored at will tonight inside the 10-yard line. Very, very big defensive play for the Reynoldsburg Raiders. Good job, Raiders.
So again, now the Raiders have a chance to get something moving and put some points on the board before the end of the first half. They've got 6 minutes to move the football. That's plenty of time. Wide to the near side, Griffey and Dursum. I formation in the backfield, as you can see there, to the left of your screen. Mike Matheny calling the signals is going to hand it off up the middle for Weller.
Oh,
Weller on his feet. Weller got some room. He bounced off a couple of tacklers and got it all the way out to the 20-yard line.
You know, and Paul, people say it's important to keep your legs moving. I mentioned that earlier in the game. Weller looked like he was going to go down 1, 2, 3 times. He just kept moving. Now look at this. Oh, he's hit there by 3 Lions. He spins off, and he just sets downfield, Paul. And just, hard. Look at the acceleration there. 18, good tackle for Gahanna. Great play for Reynoldsburg.
Oh, boy, that was a good bit of slashing running. 15-yard
I'm going to tell you something again. I just can't get excited over this game, Paul Cox. I apologize to everybody out there. I just don't know what's going on.
Matheny now throws complete to Dursum, and Dursum out to the 30-yard line, spinning close to another first down. He may have it.
I like this, don't you? This is great football.
This is excitement.
20-0 Gahanna over Reynoldsburg with 5:09 left in the half. But you couldn't tell the way Reynoldsburg's fired up here.
Let's watch it again.
Now, what's the key here? Your pass blocking. Matheny, plenty of time, sets in a pocket. He's got 7 men back blocking for him, Paul.
Look at him form that circle.
Oh, that was great.
Nice solid reception. Make sure he has good possession before he turns upfield.
And you know what? I can assure you that Troy Dursum, inside he's going, wow. That was a bonehead of a thing I did before to get that unsportsmanlike conduct call. I'm going to make it up on the field, and I'm going to do it fair and square. That's the name of the game.
And he picked up the first down by about 3 inches. That's his 3rd reception for a total of 43 yards for Troy Dursum.
Reynoldsburg seems to be gelling so far in this drive, Paul. They're getting pass blocking. Matheny's putting the ball where it needs to be.
So Matheny now calling the signals. First down, 10 yards to go for Reynoldsburg. The pitch out. Goes to Aaron Browning. Browning's going to be snowed under for a loss.
Matt Queen there to meet Browning. Something that a lot of people didn't notice that play, but after Matheny pitched the ball out, Paul, he was downfield leading the blocking. You got to love that in a quarterback.
And we have a man down in the field right now, and it looks like, and it is, Craig Rex. And it look like they're looking at Craig's ankle. We have 4 minutes and 47 seconds to go now in the first half of action at Gahanna. The score is Gahanna 20, Reynoldsburg nothing. Back after this.
18 have checked in. I do not either. What position? A receiver? Wide receiver. I'm not getting too wild, am I? I am really getting excited over this. You know what? I know what it is. George didn't put any Valiums in my soda tonight.
Aha!
Pryor! Pryor!
Here's
You didn't put any Valiums in my soda. Oh, heck, this isn't even caffeine-free, man. I'm taking off.
Back we are at Gahanna High School. Craig Rex, number 7, the halfback, being led off the field for Reynoldsburg, and that's a blow to Reynoldsburg. Rex has had a good game.
He makes things happen, and you know what else I enjoyed, Paul? Not only do we have a beautiful stadium here, just a great crowd, but the Gahanna Lincoln fans giving a nice hand to Mr. Rex as he came off the field. Sportsmanship, I can't talk about it enough. That's the key to this game.
Rex had carried 6 times for 10 yards.
10 hard yards.
10 hard yards, and a couple of those carries had been losses, so really he's had some good games tonight. Second down, 11 to go for Reynoldsburg. Gahanna leading by a score of 20-0. Mike Matheny calls the signal. Straight drop back to throw. Now he's going to run with it. Going wide, no room, spun down at the 30-yard line.
Great, sure. Matt Queen, once again, I'll tell you something, Mr. Davis and Queen all over the field this tonight for Gahanna.
Matt Queen, number 41, 185 pounds and a senior. Clock down to the 4-minute mark in the first half. Reynoldsburg now another long yardage situation, 3rd down and 10. They've been moving the ball pretty well on the through the air. You see Dwayne Seabright, number 1, going wide to the far side, so they got 3 men out wide now.
And they're taking men man-to-man. John Sanders back playing center field for Gahanna.
Now Matheny rolls out, looking to throw, does off balance. It's caught at the 40-yard line by number 11, Charles Griffey, and Griffey down to the 33.
Fantastic throw, and the rollout that time, a little rollout to his right, bought Matheny the extra time to complete the pass. And look at the Raiders, they're fired up, Paul. 37-yard gain that time for Reynoldsburg.
And Hassan Bailey was the man who brought him down at the 32-yard line in Gahanna territory. So Reynoldsburg on the march again, and let's watch it.
Matheny is just going to roll out. He's got enough speed, and he threw across his body.
Look at that arm strength. Threw off balance across his body, 37 yards.
And, Paul, we keep talking about the quarterbacks. These receivers from Reynoldsburg are great. They're getting open. They've got sure hands. They're catching the ball. They're holding on to it. They're getting popped.
So here go the Reynoldsburg Raiders now with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go. The handoff is to Weller, the fullback, and he is smacked. I could hear those pads pop even with my headset on.
Oh, wow. Once again, Mr. Davis, 16 on there, 51 also. Tommy Douglas in on the stop. Something interesting. The Gahanna shows the great play calling on defense. Even though Reynoldsburg is throwing the ball downfield, they're still not fooling Gahanna with those runs, Paul.
Second down, 9 yards to go. You'll see Brett Sharper go wide to the far side. Matheny, very calm. Even though he's behind, he's very calm, directing traffic, making sure everybody's right where he wants him to be. Now under a lot of pressure, tucks it in, and he's brought down. And look at all those blue and gold uniforms around the quarterback.
41, of course, Matt Queen. 45, Dave Radcliffe. Wait a minute, Radcliffe doesn't do enough on offense. He's got to get in there on defense, too.
You know, where'd all those guys come from? It looked like they were dropped in from helicopters that time.
And something that Matheny did, very poised, to tuck the football in. There's no sense throwing the ball away. He did a good job that time, Paul.
Clock running down to the 2-minute mark now in the first half. third down, very, very long. 3rd and 17 for Reynoldsburg. The wide receivers are Seabright and Dursum. In motion now goes Browning. Now Matheny throwing the high pass for Dursum. Dursum has it batted away at the 8-yard line.
Oh, great defensive play that time. Dursum reached up for the ball. But once again, 4 Gahanna Lions down there defending. Whew, that was a good one. Paul, something else. This is just the high school level of football. The offense that Reynoldsburg runs is highly complicated. It's another tribute to their athletes to be able to execute the kind of offense we're seeing here tonight.
In fact, we're seeing complicated offenses, very complex offenses on both sides of the football.
Hey, can I send this game film off to Earl after the game's over tonight?
You wonder how high school kids who have as much to do as high school kids do can learn all that. And they do it in a very short time.
Yes, they do.
It hasn't been that long that school has been back in session. Now Matheny to boot it away. He got that one away. It's going to hit at the 11-yard line and spin and spin and spin, and it's going to die on the 3-yard line.
That's a great punt.
Dursum down there to kill it for Reynoldsburg, and Gahanna has a long way to go. A 36-yard punt, but more importantly, the ball is killed inside the 5-yard line.
Paul, I always wanted to get a stat on punters. You kick the ball, you boom it out of the end zone, it comes back to the 20. What good does that do your team? Let's have a net gain, perhaps, on the punt?
Yeah.
Something like that, or have a separate statistic
that
for
would be a good stat,
punts killed or kicked out of bounds inside the 10.
Thank you. And once again, a great shot of the Gahanna Lincoln crowd tonight. Oh, the Lion fans are out in force. Golden Lions.
A minute 22 seconds to go. Gahanna can just sit on it, basically, and just try not to get in trouble. Oh, as snowed under that time was Bill Driesbach as he kept it himself. He got no gain.
Gary Young, 35, putting on a good hit that time for Reynoldsburg.
But Gahanna now can run out the clock on this first half.
You know, I don't know why Bill Driesbach wants to take some pops down there. Let's hand it off to the big boys. Give it to your fullback. You know, let him take it into the line.
Now, if I were down there, I'd give it to Mike Holmes and let him run with it.
That's right.
Wide to the near side comes Matt Ayers. Be real surprised if they threw at this point. 49 seconds to go. They won't. Driesbach will keep it. Nope, he's going to hand it off instead. Handoff went to Tracy Doss.
Flag on the play, Paul.
And as you mentioned, there is a flag. It's down at about the 8-yard line. You can see it laying there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. One of the officials standing on it.
Matt Malo over there helping out defensively for Reynoldsburg.
Now let's see if we can get the preliminary indication here. Oh, clipping the call on Gahanna. You know, there's no real reason that TV8's great programming can't be carried on cable TV. Now, right now, none of the Columbus cable systems carry TV8. They could if they wanted to. If you'd like to see TV8 on your cable TV, call or write your city government and cable system and tell them, I want TV8 on my cable TV.
I'll tell you something. Once again, that song by Dire Straits, one of my favorites. I want my W08 BV TV.
You got that right today.
I got it, man. I love it. This is too much fun. Interesting thought here. 2nd down and 10. We've got a penalty, 42 seconds. Take the down. Force Gahanna to punt the football. You're in position even for a field goal. You've got to get points on the board, Paul, when you're down like this.
Good idea.
Reynoldsburg's got to get the ball back. They've got time, especially with the explosive receivers they have and the way Matheny's been throwing the football.
And that's exactly why Reynoldsburg declined the penalty. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 4. So the Raiders still have to stop the Lions at this point.
I want
now Driesbach's going to hand it off, and no gain. In fact, a loss.
Oh, look at that fired up defense. 45, 44 in there for Reynoldsburg. 45 Weller, 44 Lance French.
So immediately now, Reynoldsburg calls timeout to stop the clock. And that's going to give Gahanna time to get on the field now and punt it away.
Now, what are we talking? Probably 8-10 seconds on a punt play. Heck, that's 4 downs from Matheny putting the ball in the air.
That ought to give him time to run at least 2 or 3 plays. Clock won't start until the snap.
Should I go back to my song?
Well, now one of the assistant coaches comes on the field for Gahanna. Apparently to tell the boys.
There's our man.
There we go. There's our mascot.
You gotta love him. The person behind the scenes. The Gahanna Lincoln Golden Lion.
Getting bust right on the chin by one of the Gahanna Lincoln cheerleaders.
He's blushing. Did you see that? The Lion was blushing. We saw it here first.
Little scarlet around the mane, huh?
That's right, and a little gray under the collar.
20-0 is the score. Gahanna on top over Reynoldsburg. There you see the Gahanna huddle. Gahanna is going to punt it away on 4th down and 6. Back deep, the important men for Reynoldsburg are number 28, Matt Schedenhelm, and Frank Curran is number 24.
And you know what, Paul? I say let's go for broke. If you're Reynoldsburg, let's rush that kicker. Let's see if we can get it blocked.
And they've got 10 men up there. Make that 9 men. My addition is terrible. High snap, and he just barely got it away. It was partially blocked. It's going to come down at the 30-yard line and be killed right there. And more importantly, the clock for Reynoldsburg, the clock stops with 18 seconds to go. Well, as you said, Munch, let's rush the kicker, and they almost succeeded in blocking that.
You know, it's interesting because we saw Matheny with some low snaps today. Paul, I think the low snap, even though you're taking it off the ground, is a little bit better to field when you're punting than the high snap. The high snap, you have to bring the ball down, drop it down to your foot. The low snap, the ball's down there already. I'm sure none of them are convenient, but I'd take the low snap if I had my druthers. Here they go.
Here we go now. Matheny throwing over the middle. It is caught and then dropped. It was in and out of the hands of Dwayne Seabright, number 21, and with that, the clock ran out. So Reynoldsburg did manage to get one play off, but to no avail, and the half ends with Gahanna leading Reynoldsburg by a score of 20-0. We'll be back after this. playing Aaron Copeland out there. You talk about that's classical music they're playing there. This is classy.
It's great.
Yeah, I am.
Catching up with me. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner today. Gotcha, babe.
You just want some general crap, huh? We don't have the stats ready yet. That's all right.
I can sing some more.
Steve's just about ready.
Hey, when do we get Boss Dog dinner?
What?
His family has a cart he used to work called Boss
The band for a while, is that it? Okay, go. It's halftime at Gahanna Lincoln High School. George, I think the one segment of the band show is just about to end here, and they're going to bring on another band, it looks like. Okay. Halftime at Gahanna High School. Gahanna leading Reynoldsburg 20-0. There you see the end of the halftime show of the Reynoldsburg High School marching band. Very impressive show, Muntz. They're playing a little bit of classical music, a little bit of patriotic music.
But always one of my favorite songs, America the Beautiful.
America the Beautiful. And we're just about to see the Gahanna marching band come on the field.
The pride of Gahanna.
Well, early in the football game, Gahanna dominant, running off a couple of quick scores in the first quarter. Scoring on an 8-yard run by Shepard with 7:34 to go, and then a 57-yard dash by the fullback Radcliffe with 4:54 to go in the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, Gahanna putting 7 more on the board, a 20-yard pass from to Radcliffe from Driesbach to make it 20-0.
And that was 6 seconds into the second quarter, Paul. After that point in time, if you just walked into the game, you would not know that it was 20-0 Gahanna. Reynoldsburg did a good job. They stopped them defensively. They marched down the field. They had that one big unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, but Matheny and gang has showed that, hey, wait a second, we've come here to play football. We're going to come back at you in the second half, and the Reynoldsburg defense has tightened up not only in the middle of the line where they were running off guard off tackle, Gahanna being they, but they've also tightened up on the wings to keep Mr. Driesbach from sliding outside and running at option.
Well, we've seen a lot from both teams to be impressed with, and looking forward to a good second half. Well, let's watch the Gahanna Lincoln High School marching band. approaching halftime at Gahanna Lincoln High School. The score at the half is Gahanna 20, Reynoldsburg nothing. We'll be back after this.
Yeah? My man. Let's give a little band tribute also to the director and the assistant director in that.
Back at Gahanna Lincoln High School, Paul Cox along with Mark Munch Bishop. And you're seeing the end now of the halftime show by the Gahanna High School Marching Band. An excellent show it's been.
Oh, I'll tell you something. Great job, band director Jeff Shellhammer, and of course the assistants Pat McCown, Diana Ballard, Steve Schinninger, the pride of Gahanna, the Gahanna Lincoln Golden Lion Marching Band.
Let's have a look at the first half statistics now. As you see for Reynoldsburg, first of all, the passing 5 of 13 for a total of 86 yards, 32 yards rushing for a total of 118, and they turned it over one time on an interception. Time of possession, not bad, 15 minutes, 17 seconds for Reynoldsburg. In fact, almost twice that of Gahanna, but Reynoldsburg has not managed to put a point on the board yet. 5 first downs for the Raiders of Reynoldsburg. They've been penalized twice for 20 yards.
And we'll look at the Gahanna Golden Lions passing completions, 2 for 2 attempts, perfect passing there. Passing yards, 36. Rushing yards, Paul Cox, 127, 57 of those, of course, on Mr. Ratcliffe's long run. Total yards, 163. It shows you right there, 8:43 time of possession and 20 points, not bad. 1 turnover and also 5 first downs.
So both teams managing to move the football, but Gahanna has had the advantage of better field position tonight.
And not only that, Paul, but you see that possession play, and people will say, possession time, they'll say, isn't that important time? Yes, it's very important time. You've got to keep your defense off the field, but Paul, it also lends credence to the theory of the big play, hence Mr. Radcliffe's 57-yard run. Gahanna Lincoln has done something tonight. They've done it well. They struck quick as soon as they've had the football.
A couple of things we failed to mention, too, of the leading receivers for Reynoldsburg. Dursum with 38 yards on 2 catches. Griffey, 1 catch for 37. Radcliffe, 75 yards rushing for Gahanna. So we're just about set now to move it into the second half of action. We'll be back at Gahanna after this. Your halftime score at Gahanna 20, Reynoldsburg nothing. We'd like to thank the fine folks at the Pizza Factory for providing the TV8 crew with delicious pizza this evening. Pizza Factory is at 210 South Hamilton Road, serving Whitehall, Reynoldsburg, and Gahanna. Give them a call at 863-6669. That's 863-6669 for the best pizza money can buy. We'd also like to thank some other great people, the ones at your Columbus Coca-Cola Bottling Company, for providing us with America's finest soft drink, Coke.
That's right.
Catch the wave.
Hang 10,
Coke.
baby. Surf
Right.
Ohio, right?
Hey, we'd like to thank you for joining us tonight on the TV8 High School Game of the Week. Coming up next week, Franklin Heights at Grove City. In future weeks, we've got Walnut Ridge at Mifflin. This ought to be a good game. Upper Arlington and Worthington. That's coming up Friday, October the 2nd. Westerville South at Groveport.
Oh,
that'll
be a great one, too.
Bishop Reedy at Worley on October 16th. Hilliard and Whitehall on October 23rd. Briggs and East, October 30th. And November 6th, rounding out our season, Dublin at Bexley. So a lot of good football action coming up yet.
And there we get a look at now, Paul, wait a second. I put on my paisley tie for everybody. You look great. No shots of the announcers tonight?
Yeah, we have.
I'll tell you something.
We have not been seen on camera
now,
tonight.
come on.
Maybe it's too dark up here.
I got my hair cut yesterday.
There we are.
Right.
Right.
We're having too much fun here at Gahanna Lincoln High School.
We should have combed our hair.
Wait a minute. I thought I did.
Well, now the Gahanna Lions, as you can see on your screen, reappearing on the field to start the second half. Reynoldsburg's back out.
Paul, they just don't come onto the field. They storm onto the field.
Not quite the storm that we saw at the beginning of the game, but they've got a half of football under their belt. Gahanna leading by a score of 20-0.
And Paul, you're going to love this. Sprinting along the sideline, yelling and screaming is Bill Treesback saying, come on, let's go, let's go.
Maybe he wasn't happy with the speed that they ran out there. Gahanna struck twice in the first quarter, a run by Shepard and a 57-yard run then by Radcliffe to make it 13-0 at the end of the first quarter. Then just 6 seconds into the second quarter, Driesbach hit Radcliffe with a 20-yard pass. And that made the score 20-0, and that's where we are right now. But as we mentioned, during the halftime, Reynoldsburg has shown a lot of spark, a lot of signs of life, and this ball game is far from over.
Especially with Matheny. He's been getting his receivers open. He's been getting the ball to him. But what do you need to do that? The pass protection has just been perfect. And I think the key to that, Paul, is not only the offensive line has been digging in, but they've been keeping one or two of the running backs back there to pick up any stragglers that filter through from Gahanna. And the proof is in the package right there. They've been moving the football, no doubt about it. Reynoldsburg doing a good job coming back here.
Well, a lot of pride on the line for Gahanna here in the second half. Gahanna has gone 6 quarters now into the 1987 season without giving up a point. And they have not been close, really, to giving up a point here tonight. They shut out Marion Harding in a non-league game last week by a score of 14-0, did Gahanna. Gahanna was 7-3 last year. Reynoldsburg 2-8 last year, and lost to Whetstone 48-0 to open the season last Friday.
And Paul, I'd like to point out that Whetstone football team may very well be the cream of the crop in the City League, both the blue and red this year. They are a good team. Coach Ray Belisari does a great job with them.
So now we're set to move into the second half of action. Dwayne Seabright to kick off for Reynoldsburg. Sidewinding kicker gets it off, and it's going to bound down to Phil Smith. Smith, number 33, lots of room.
Whoa,
Phil
does he
Smith
run
on
hard?
his feet. There's a burst of speed by Phil Smith up to the 43-yard line.
Ooh, speed and straight, and you know, a very, very dangerous jersey tackle that time, Paul. If Phil could have broke that one, he was gone. Another Mr. Radcliffe off to the races for the Gahanna Golden Lions.
Little speedster Phil Smith, 5'3", 147 pounds.
Oh, he had some strength behind that.
37-yard to make that a 30-yard kickoff return for Phil Smith. So Gahanna in business on their own 43-yard line. Driesbach on the call, fakes, keeps. Now he's going to run with it. Downfield over the 45 and 50.
What a great block downfield, 45. Now, Paul, wait a second. Dave Radcliffe, he runs for touchdowns, he makes tackles. He just leveled one of the Reynoldsburg defenders that was bearing down on the quarterback.
And he was knocked down at about the 47-yard line. Let's see if we can pick up that block on the replay.
Oh, you're going to love this one. Now, look at Holmes, though. They run behind Holmes. Holmes comes out. One of the men from Reynoldsburg shot by Driesbach. 61's in a hot pursuit. Now watch Radcliffe come here, and he is... Oh, did he pop a man?
That was an excellent block. High formation in the backfield now for Gahanna on 2nd down and 1. He's going to throw. It's almost picked off. Incomplete, intended out there for Ed Bourne, the tight end.
Something interesting that time, Paul, something we haven't seen Bill Driesbach do all game. He dropped straight back in the pocket and just stood there. I'm used to seeing the guy run around.
And lots of protection. Matt Malo, the man who almost picked it off. That's the first incompletion. He's now 2 of 3. On third down now, a little less than a yard to go. Driesbach, the handoff right up the middle. Radcliffe first down.
Good hard-nosed tackle that time by 35 for Reynoldsburg. That's Gary Young on another stop. He was hit by 2 blockers, and he still was able to fend them off and make the tackle.
So Gahanna now moving it into Reynoldsburg territory. Ball spotted, 43-yard line. Clock running with 11 minutes, 17 seconds to go. Gahanna on top, 20-0.
Now, if you notice them, they slid me some caffeine-free soda for the second half here.
No Valium either. Handoff was to Radcliffe. A little bit of trouble that time on the exchange between Driesbach and Radcliffe. Almost a fumble. Radcliffe, though, came back up with it, but had nowhere to go by the time he fielded the ball.
Paul, not only that, something dangerous in an instance like that. Radcliffe was wrapped up around the ankles. He was still spinning. When you're doing that, you're covering up the ball. Your body is vulnerable to take hits by the defense. Oh, you hate to see somebody get hurt when it's game 20-0, but like you mentioned earlier, this game is far from over.
On second down and 9 now. Pitch out. Some room to go on the left side. He's got the corner turn. That's Reese. Reese for the first down at about the 30.
And 2 people paid that time. Radcliffe paid on a fake handoff, and Driesbach paid after he pitched the ball out.
Rob Reese, a 5'9", 155-pound senior, wearing number 30.
When you talk about running backs, how Grandview went at Centennial last week, you've got Reese, you've got Shepard, you've got Radcliffe, and then they bring in the other guys, too, that we saw earlier in the first half. We saw Doss, we saw Smith.
Got 2 or 3 more. Now Driesbach looking to throw again. Does. Complete. And down right away is Radcliffe. Radcliffe fell on the football. He's going to be a little bit slow getting up. He's okay. Tough kid. Almost enough for another first down. Ball spotted at the 22. Looks about a yard short.
So that would be 3 footballs short, right?
3 footballs short, right. Oh, there's a flag. There was a flag on the play. I missed the flag somehow, Munch, but
I didn't see it either.
The initial call is holding against Gahanna.
And we talked about penalties, big plays. Of course, the unsportsmanlike penalty, conduct penalty, the stopping of the offense of Gahanna by Reynoldsburg down at the 5-yard line. This could be a big one, too, Paul, because Gahanna was moving down the field. They were moving at ease.
Well, this may be the first really, in fact, it is the first really challenging situation now for Gahanna. They've got it first down, and it's going to be 25. Make that, well, about 25 to go for the first down. Perhaps just a little bit more. On the scoreboard, they have first and 26, so
Scott
we'll go along
Frazier,
with that.
66 checks back in.
Now wide at the near side for Gahanna comes Rob Reese. I formation in that backfield. As Driesbach goes back, now he's going to hand off on the draw play. A fumble on the play, and the tailback picked it up.
37 there in a hurry for Reynoldsburg, Chad Allen. 51, Carl Long helping him out.
That was Todd Page on the carry.
Whew, I'll tell you something, Paul. That's going to be scary when you drop the football after a penalty like that. Things like that can turn the tide of a game in no time at all.
Now Page is going to come out, and number 38, Dundee Smith, is into the ball game for Gahanna.
And once again, we're seeing the running backs, they go 6 deep at running back, Paul. Keep them fresh.
Todd Ayers, 21, splits out. In motion is Page. Driesbach now is going to run. He's going to go nowhere. He is snowed under by white jerseys.
And you know what? Once again, 51, Carl Long is there. 35 is there. Gary Young. Young, Long, Shedenhelm, all over the place today for the Raiders.
Well, the Raiders now, and even the Gahanna Lions now in even deeper trouble. It's going to be third down and call it 29.
There's 35, Gary Young looking over his defense from Reynoldsburg.
And players being shuttled in and out now by Coach Phil Koppel.
One thing you don't want to do here, in Gahanna's point, you don't want to have a turnover. You don't want to throw an interception. Maybe just hand the ball off into the line, because Radcliffe broke that touchdown on just a simple play like that.
Right. But Driesbach is going to look to throw, and he's going to look to throw long. It's going to be, whoa, almost. It was intended for Todd Page and just off his hands out there. I was going to say it was going to be batted down, but somehow that got over the outstretched hands of Lance French of Reynoldsburg and almost found the mark with Todd Page.
Well, I'll tell you what, Shedenhelm was down there too. Dangerous pass, but you got to love it. Doing exactly what no one thought he would do, throwing the ball downfield into double coverage.
So now in to kick it away is Don Davis. Davis, a junior, 6'3", 222, wearing number 60.
And also a headhunter on defense.
Gets an excellent snap from center and gets off a good punt. Comes down to Matt Shedenhelm, and Shedenhelm fumbles it and falls on it at about the 12-yard line.
Gahanna down there in a hurry to cover the good punt of Mr. Davis.
Well, there's a flag back at the line of scrimmage, so they may have to go back and do it all over again.
There's Tracy Dawes, 14, the old what, me? Hands on his hips look.
Now, that was a 37-yard punt by Don Davis. Looks like there may have been a case of someone downfield that time who should not have been.
One of the interior linemen, perhaps?
Perhaps so. Well, the officials taking their time to talk it over. There you see Grant Price in the white hat, going back now for about the third conference with his pals in the zebra shirts.
Well, something else that impresses me, not only in this game, but the first game we had, Grandview versus Centennial, just the caliber, just excellent job of officiating for the official crew there. The guys in the striped shirts are just wonderful, doing a good job letting people hit a little bit like they're supposed to, but keeping things within reason, within the boundaries.
A bunch of great guys, too. We've shaken hands with them off and on. Really a bunch of guys who love kids and love high school athletics.
You know, it's a shame because whenever there's problems, it seems, with the fans and the refs or the players and the refs, I said it the first time, it's usually the fans. It's not the kids on the field. They'll speak highly of the referees, and every once in a while, you've got to call them like you see them, and just like a penalty is, it's got to go against one team.
Right.
And that's what the guys are doing down there on the field.
For the story, straight from the horse's mouth, tuned to TV8's weeknights at 9 for Mr. Ed. That's good. You want to try that one again? Wilbur Post wisecracking Palomino does his best to keep his owner confused and everybody else in the dark. Watch Mr. Ed weeknights at 9 on TV8. Well, it looks like we are not going to do it all over again. The call went against Reynoldsburg. I didn't pick it up, did you, Mike?
So Tracy Dawes was innocent then when he said, somebody pointed at him. He goes, wait a minute, I was down there covering the kick. Sorry about that one, Trace.
Well, the bottom line is going to be that Reynoldsburg will have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 12-yard line.
Now, last half, in the second quarter, when Reynoldsburg stopped Gahanna, they had the ball deep, and they moved down the field well. Let's see, maybe Mr. Matheny likes to have a little bit of real estate ahead of him. And if you're a Browns fan, you remember the Broncos back at the 2-yard line in the game that put them into the Super Bowl. So
never forget that one.
You can't forget that one.
Reynoldsburg trailing 20-0 now, 1st and 10 on their own 12. And the handoff is going to go to number 30, Aaron Browning. And Browning's going to find very little room as he tries to take it wide. The tremendous pursuit of Gahanna brings him down right about the line of scrimmage.
Ed Bourne was there and a host of other tacklers. Paul, I have not seen Craig Rex back in the game since he exited, and that's hurt the running game a little bit. Rex with that excellent acceleration off guard, off tackle, and also around the end.
Rex limped off the field in the first half, wearing number 7 for Reynoldsburg, and as Munch mentioned, we have not seen him back. 2nd down, 11 now. They lost a yard in the play. Clock running down under 8 minutes now to go in the 3rd quarter. Some movement along the Gahanna line, and there may have been some movement also on the Reynoldsburg line. Now that's either going to be offside, illegal motion, or encroachment. Let's see what the call is going to be. Offside against Gahanna.
78, David Rollins down there in his stance, just getting a little anxious, wanting to get a piece of one of the Reynoldsburg players there.
Well, again, Gahanna smells pay dirt. They've got Reynoldsburg down here deep. Talk about a team with a killer instinct. We've seen it in the Gahanna Lions.
Looking for Rocky on the sideline there.
This time it's going to be 2nd and 6. Looking for the eye of the lion.
Eye of the golden lion. Wasn't that golden lions, tigers, and bears? What was that out of?
Wizard of Oz.
That's right. Where's Dorothy?
I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. On 2nd down and 6. The give is going to be, now Matheny is going to keep. He's going to try to go wide, and he loses yardage back to the 10-yard line.
And David Rollins, 78 over there in a hurry. 66 down on the ground, also Scott Frazier for Gahanna.
I wonder if that could have possibly been a missed handoff. It looked like he and Aaron Browning were running together, and maybe Matheny wanted to hand it off to him, and it didn't work.
Well, Paul, not only that, but all the Gahanna players were on Mr. Matheny, so he should not have had the football if that was not the case.
So Reynoldsburg, it's been almost no luck and bad luck this evening. It's going to be 3rd down now and 13, and an obvious passing situation with coming wide to the near side Charles Griffey and also Troy Dursum. And a faked handoff, lots of pressure again. He's going to go down. And the fumble, the football is loose in the end zone. Gahanna all over it. Touchdown, Gahanna.
Paul, and I'll tell you something once again, since Mr. Rex has left the game, Aaron Browning's come in. He's done a good job, but the timing just isn't there. And we're going to see this once again as Mr. Matheny and Mr. Browning it just didn't happen. They were all over. That was a pass right from the get-go, though.
Right.
No fault on Browning's part.
He was drawing the ball back. Looked like to throw about waist high. Just got.
Now, who was it? Who was it on defense? Who was that hot potato?
Look at all those guys in there. And it looked like it must have been Scott Frazier, number 66, or David Rollins, number 78, who came up with it for the touchdown.
And his 2 big plays after Rollins was called for the penalty. He just he strung out the last play and gets 6 that time.
And the point after is good, so that makes the score Gahanna 27 and Reynoldsburg nothing. We'll be back after this.
You know what? That has hurt them with Rex.
Back at Gahanna High School, Paul Cox along with Mark Munch Bishop, and Gahanna, as you can see, leading Reynoldsburg 27-0.
Paul, you know, we pointed out the pride of this Gahanna community. Game balls for each game here are donated by different industries around. We've got Bill Hedren Pontiac, Earl's Auto Parts, Sarcone's Pizza, Her Realtors, and Buy Ohio. It's great when they rally around their golden lions that way. Way to go, gang.
And the fumble recovery for the touchdown for Gahanna was number 78, David Rollins. And a miscue on the return. Aaron Browning, number 30, with the football, just tripped and fell at about the 17-yard line. Looks like he and a teammate ran together.
Lance French was down there, too, for the Raiders of Reynoldsburg.
How's that old song go? If it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all. And it's looking like that for Reynoldsburg right now, but Reynoldsburg has shown plenty of spark tonight, so we're not going to count them out yet. 1st and 10, 17-yard line.
Now, Paul, they're a fine football team.
6 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Mark Matheny on the call, looking to drop straight back and throw. He overthrows his intended receiver, Charles Griffey, number 11, and the ball went out of bounds.
He had another receiver deep there, too. They were working that side of the field, and they were just not able to complete a pass that time.
So that'll make it 2nd and 10. As you see Dursum go out, and coming back in was make that Brett Sharper. And Sharper will come wide to the near side along with Charles Griffey. Now Matheny on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw again. He throws out there deep. It's almost intercepted. It was intended for Griffey.
And it's John Sanders, our old buddy, number 88, playing center field. Not a bad pass. Griffey got beat by his defensive man. And now this is important. Watch what Sanders does here, Paul. He has a step on the receiver. There's no way you're going to complete a pass when your defensive back has the ad that way. Matheny unwinds. And Sanders is the deeper of the two. Bingo. That's why he broke it up.
2 of 9 for Matheny on the evening. Of the last 9 passes, he's completed 2. 5 minutes, 49 seconds to go, 3rd quarter.
You know, your defensive coordinators have to feel good about the way the Gahanna Lincoln Golden Lions have played the game tonight.
5 of 15 overall for Mike Matheny. Now a flag, and it looks like a delay of game penalty. And that's going to be the call, delay of game against Reynoldsburg.
Grant Price, the referee, giving us the call.
So that's going to move them back 5 more yards and make it 3rd down and 15. And put the ball back at about the 12-yard line. So you can have it. That would probably surprise some fans that you can have a delay of game penalty when the clock is stopped. Well, country comedy at its best on Green Acres, weeknights, 9:30 on TV8. Mr. Haney may have sold Oliver and Lisa the farm, but they're bringing you plenty of laughs every weeknight, 9:30, right here on TV8. So 3rd down, very long, 3rd and 15 now as Matheny fakes the handoff, goes back under a lot of pressure. He's spun down.
Oh, and he was lucky to hold on to the football again that time. Gahanna, they did it in the first quarter. They're doing it again in the third. They're beating the line, and a good rush that time by 79 for the Golden Lions. That's Roger Garrett putting on a lot of pressure.
So let's watch it again.
Paul,
now.
once again, there's speed, there's strength, there's quickness. Look at Davis blowing in. He got blocked. 66 with a shot there. No, that was 66. I'm
Scott
sorry.
Frazier brought him down. Scott Frazier, 6'2", 240, a senior. And that's the 5th sack of the evening. And Matheny will have to stand almost on the end line to kick it away. And he does get it away. Good punt.
We'll have a run back.
Going to come down at about the 37-yard line, and he's brought down. With the ball was Matt Ayers, and Ayers returned it to the 30.
Great tackle that time. 24 for Reynoldsburg was Frank Kern, and 37 was Chad Allen on the return team for Reynoldsburg.
But here we are again, Munch. Excellent field position for Gahanna, and that's where they've been, really, for most of the second half.
Now, Bill Driesbach has to be like a guy at a smorgasbord now, you know, all he can want, and he's got it in front of him, and he's starting to have fun offensively.
Todd Page, number 35 in the lineup, goes wide to the far side. Driesbach on the call, fires out there, intended for Ayers, but a little bit out of his reach. Ayers dove for it, but couldn't come up with it at the 25. We might be getting to the point here pretty soon where we'll begin to see some of the younger men in the lineup for Gahanna. On 2nd down and 10. He's misfired, has Driesbach on his last 3 consecutive passes.
And there you see the Lions offensive line digging in.
Big offensive line, too.
Yes, it is, Paul.
Now Driesbach under a lot of pressure. He's going to be snowed under. Back at the 20, make that the 35-yard line.
Steve Boren. Oh, did Steve Boren just blow right in here? Number 61. Keep your eye on him. Nobody touched him, Paul. Nobody touched him, and he wrestled him to Driesbach down to the ground. You know, it's got to feel good to put a little a licking back on a team when you're down 27-0.
Driesbach must be thinking, that's not supposed to happen. 4 minutes, 17 seconds to go. Ball on the 34-yard line. Gahanna, 3rd and 14.
Those linemen got to be careful. They won't get their isotoner gloves for Christmas. A la Dan Marino.
Now a straight drop back. Now he's going to roll out of the pocket. Still looking to throw as Driesbach over the middle. It is almost intercepted. Overthrown and then almost intercepted.
And he got popped again, Paul.
Matt Shadenhelm was the man who almost came up with it on the 15-yard line for Reynoldsburg. But now Gahanna will have to punt it away.
It's interesting. It's a tribute not only to the Reynoldsburg players, but also to their coaches. Well, they're down by a few touchdowns right now. 4 would put them back in the lead, but they're not rolling over. They're playing tougher defense now and get a good shot once again of the crowd. A great, great crowd here tonight at Gahanna Lincoln High School.
And none of them have left. Good crowd of Reynoldsburg supporters have come over
yes,
for the
definitely.
game, too. And the Reynoldsburg band came over. It's just been a real good show overall. Good, solid family entertainment.
I said, just when you arrived tonight, you got excited about all the happenings.
Don Davis fields that high snap and gets off a that's a major league pop-up.
Texas Leaguer.
Going to hit it about the 13 and roll into the arms of Matt Ayers, and he kills it right there.
Now I saw the Reverend Hitman, Mike Easler of the Yankees, ruined Tommy Candiotti of the Indians no-hitter August 1st with a little bloop single just like that in between Brett Butler and Hinzo, the Tribe.
You saw that?
Yes, I did.
Really did.
I was at that game. Tommy Candiotti threw a one-hitter, and it was interesting that Easler got the hit because he's from Cleveland also. He went to high school, Cleveland Benedictine, home of the Bengals.
I'll say what you will about Cleveland Stadium. That is a great place to watch a baseball game. That was a 21-yard punt by Don Davis.
And 40 yards high.
And 40 yards high, not to mention. So on 1st and 10, Reynoldsburg now. The give is going to be to number 30, Aaron Browning, and Browning wasn't fooling anybody.
Guess who's there? Our old buddy Scott Frazier, 66. He said, Munch, I didn't get the touchdown, so I'm going to have to make a few more tackles for you.
Well, you know, the way that Reynoldsburg got it going in the first half was some quick hitters, and we haven't seen him throwing those here in the second half. Browning lost about a yard in the play. It's going to be second down, 11 yards to go.
Paul, they almost need to just move the ball upfield, even if they only gain 2-3 yards a pop. They've got to move the ball north and south.
Matheny on the call. There's a quick hitting pass, and it is complete. Still on his feet. That is number 12, Keith Griffey, and he finally goes down at about the 21.
You know, we're going to have to give Keith Griffey the Timex award there because he's taking he keeps on ticking and he's taking a licking. But this is exactly the play that we called, the quick hitter. Now, Griffey breaks one tackle here, Paul. He's gone. He's downfield. But now he's going to get hit. He's going to get, let's make a Keith Griffey sandwich there.
Oh, he was popped, wasn't he? 6 feet, just 150 pounds. That's not a lot of weight to pack on a 6-foot frame. He's a senior.
Another tribute to him for holding on to the football because he got wrecked by that defense.
And picked up some good yardage. It's now 3rd and 1. Reynoldsburg with a little room to work. Clock moving down toward the 2-minute mark. It's another quick hitting pass intended out there, but I believe one of the Gahanna linemen got a hand on it.
51. Tommy Douglas jumped straight up in the air that time. He's only 5'10", but you got to leave your feet and get those arms waving because you'll knock the passes down, and that's what Mr. Douglas did. He pressured him.
So the Reynoldsburg drive stalls with 2 minutes and 14 seconds to go. We'll be back after this. Well, Reynoldsburg will punt it away now to Gahanna with 2 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Gahanna leading a commanding lead, 27-0. Good punt off. It comes down to Dondi Page, up to the 50, to the 45, still on his feet. There's a flag down. Dondi Smith, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say Page. It was Dondi Smith, number 38, carrying the ball for Gahanna.
Only a sophomore, Paul. He just said, I don't want any part of a fair catch. I'm going to get that ball and take off upfield. Good speed that time.
Showed a very good turn of speed. Now, what is the flag going to be? Flag was thrown at about the 48-yard line of Reynoldsburg. And now we'll wait for Grant Rice clipping the call against Gahanna. So that'll move them back and make Gahanna work a little bit harder to move that ball into Reynoldsburg territory.
Paul, we might see Mike Wright, number 12, coming in quarterback Gahanna. Next time they have the ball, he's on the sidelines loosening up now.
Ball's going to be spotted at the 41-yard line, so Gahanna will put it in play there, 1st and 10.
Look at Billy Driesbach, now sprinting on the field. He runs out full speed to get back in it. Like I mentioned, Mr. Wright, number 12, that's Mike Wright, warming up on the sidelines for Gahanna.
5th penalty for Gahanna, a total of 40 yards. Wide to the near side comes Dwayne Higgins. There's Driesbach. Now he's going to hand it off, and no running room at all. Bob Reese.
Paul, this is almost a trend. The first quarter, Gahanna moved the ball at will. Reynoldsburg tightened up. Now, after almost a 3rd quarter of football, Reynoldsburg's defense is tightening up again and making a ball game out of it.
It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Gahanna.
1:24 left in the 3rd quarter. 27-0. The Golden Lions on top of the Raiders.
Driesbach on the call now. The give up the middle and for the fullback, Dave Radcliffe, and Radcliffe will go nowhere.
And they're fired up. The Raiders are jumping up and down. You love to see it. Good penetration. The Raiders are doing what Gahanna's done the last 2 times on defense. They're just blowing right through the big, strong linemen of Gahanna, are not having a chance to set up, Paul, and hit the people from Reynoldsburg.
Lost maybe, a few inches on the play. Let's make it 3rd down and 11 now. As wide to the far side goes Dwayne Higgins. Driesbach fakes a handoff. Now he's gonna keep it himself.
No, Reese is running with the
Reese
football.
has got it. Okay, Reese has got it. Number 30 all the way down to the 25-yard line.
Did you see who was leading the blocking? Bill Driesbach was leading the blocking.
Right.
Oh, you're going to love this one. A little bit of, I like the chicanery here. And there's the one handoff over to Reese.
Reverse. There was the play. Okay, we picked it up that time.
Now look at Driesbach still moving his arms like he has the football, ready to pitch it back. Reese picking up a block. Now look at Driesbach looking to hit somebody. He's not going to have a chance. Reese just can't turn that last corner. 28 making a great defensive play for Reynoldsburg. Matt Shettenhelm, he's everywhere.
31-yard pickup for Bob Reese on the reverse. What a nifty
Is that a
play.
backbreaker?
Oh. And now the handoff for Todd Page, and Page picks up no ground.
Matt Brown over there for Reynoldsburg.
Page 35, 5'11", 162 pounds, and a senior. And maybe lost an inch or two on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Paul, a lot of people will say...
Oh, we've had the end of the 3rd quarter. Okay, the clock ran out. We're waiting for another play to develop. At the end of 3 quarters, the score, Gahanna 27, Reynoldsburg nothing. Back after this.
That's the high school football I know and love.
Well, you know what? Here's what I'm going to bring up. I was just getting ready to say when the quarter ended. A lot of people are going to say that's like stealing a base and you have 27-0. Paul, the way Reynoldsburg can play, if Matheny gets hot, they could have no problem scoring a couple touchdowns, you know? So that was not a rub in your nose play. That was necessity to get, you know. That's a play you save, too, for something like that.
They've probably been wanting to try that play, too. Well, we're set to move into the 4th quarter now at Gahanna Lincoln High School. There you see the happy Gahanna fans and the band. And they should be happy. Gahanna, the home team, leading by a score of 27-0.
Something that we pointed out, Paul, while we were off camera, is that a lot of people would say, wow, 27-0, you run a reverse like that, a little bit of a trick play, it's like stealing a base. No, it's not, because Coach Koppel respects this Reynoldsburg offense. He wants to keep the drive going. He needs more points on the board, Paul.
Mike Wright's the quarterback now for Gahanna, and he handed it off to Dundee Smith, and Dundee Smith just took it up the middle for a few yards. Mike Wright, wearing number 12, 6'2", 140 pounds, and a junior. We're in the 4th quarter of action. Gahanna leading 27-0. Gahanna scored 20 of those points in the first half, and scored 7 points in the 3rd quarter.
And Bill Driesbach, job well done, Bill.
Good night for him. Now Wright looking to throw, got lots of time, throws complete. And down to the 7-yard line.
This is great. Now you're going to like this, Paul. Mike Wright swung to his right. He avoided one of the rushers, found his man, drilled him. Not bad for a guy coming right off the bench.
That's right, and that was Sterling Packer.
That's right.
And
it's Mike Wright.
Mike Wright to Sterling Packer, and they gave him really almost enough time back there to mail that ball to him.
What was the zip code out there for Packer that time?
So 1st down goal to go for Gahanna now from the 7-yard line. On the handoff, it went to Tracy Doss. Doss tripped up immediately. May have got it to about the 6-yard line. You saw him roll to the 4, but the officials are not going to allow that. They're going to mark it just shy of the 5. So give him a pickup of 2. The clock running down past the 11-minute mark now.
Paul, you know, it's great if you could check out the sideline as we get to check out the Gahanna Lincoln spirit leaders there. Billy Driesbach is not on the bench. He's right up there by the coach with the rest of his players yelling for Mr. Wright to punch the ball over again.
Mike Wright, the junior quarterback, on 1st and 5 now, is going to hand it off. Number 14, the ball carrier, that's Tracy Doss, and Doss. And there's a Reynoldsburg player down. Oh, looks like he's going to get up, maybe a Charlie horse.
And that was some tough going from Mr. Doss, Paul. He put his head to the meat grinder that time. The Raiders were all over the place.
One of the Reynoldsburg Raiders down in the field hurt now.
Was it good? You like to see someone moving.
Well, he is moving around definitely. It looks like he's favoring a leg, and we're hoping it's nothing more than a Charlie horse at this point. 10 minutes and 22 seconds to go in the football game, and Gahanna's put on quite a show tonight. Again, we get down to that pride angle. Gahanna has not given up a single point yet this year, and you know that defense is going to be digging in against Reynoldsburg here in the 4th quarter.
And it's tough to, post goose eggs. You're talking, in a baseball game, you're going to throw some shutouts occasionally, but in a football game, so much could happen so quickly. especially against a great team like Reynoldsburg, Paul, and I'm not just saying it, this comes from my heart. This Reynoldsburg offense is a great, great team, and they just can't get anything on track against the Gahanna defense.
Early in the fourth quarter, the score, Gahanna 27, Reynoldsburg nothing. We'll be back after this.
Say what? MVPs, we'll get them for you. I think this game is pretty well cut and dried.
Oh, is it?
Okay, I'll tell you what I've got.
Okay.
Who do you like?
Well, Gahanna now set to go on third down and goal to go. The ball at the 4-yard line. Gahanna already leading by a score of 27-0. Reynoldsburg would like to keep him out here, make the game respectable. Now Mike Wright fakes a give, fires out there, touchdown! Ball caught by number 38, Dundee Smith. And Gahanna has made it 33-0. Let's just watch this little quick hitter now.
And Paul, once again, not bad for a guy off the bench. No cold feet there for Mr. Mike Wright. Little fake into the line, Wright rolls right. Bingo, touchdown.
And a good catch. Ball slightly behind him. He turned around, came back to it. Dundee Smith, a 164-pound sophomore. Now the point after Ed Bourne. Bourne gets plenty of leg into that one. It's good. And the score is 34-0 now, Gahanna.
Paul, another good job of moving the football by the Gahanna Lincoln Golden Lions. Mr. Bill Driesbeck sits down. Mike Wright says, hey, wait a second, I'll take the guys downfield, and he did a good job of doing that, especially against a fired-up Reynoldsburg defense. The Raiders were taken in that time, Paul, and Gahanna was just able to move the ball downfield. It's just one of those games that they just cannot be stopped.
So Gahanna now will kick it off to Reynoldsburg, and Gahanna, again, as we've mentioned, has not given up a point yet this year.
Something else very impressive. You look in the stands, I haven't seen any of the Golden Lion fans leaving, Paul, even though the score's up there, because they want to cheer their team on to victory. They want to get that shutout, and I can assure you, 10 minutes and 11 seconds on the clock, the Gahanna defense is thinking, wait a second, guys, that's not too long a time. Let's shut down these Raiders.
Let's see who's back deep for Reynoldsburg now. Number 44, Lance French, is back there, along with number 3, Brett Sharper. Awaiting the kickoff from Ed Bourne. 10 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the football game. 34-0, Gahanna. Bourne now gets the foot into it.
Oh, he gets a lot of foot into that one, Paul.
And it's taken at about the 13-yard line. And there's a whistle. There's a flag on the play.
There's a couple shoes down on the field, too.
Shoes down there, too. And with all the hitting that went on as the play developed, I'm surprised there weren't a couple of helmets knocked off.
Paul, something I've been watching here closely since Craig Rex has left the game. Seems like the spark, the little bit that Mr. Matheny needed to keep Gahanna honest in the running game, has disappeared. And I thought the Raiders were coming back strongly there in the second quarter. They have just not been able to generate that offense like they were doing in the second quarter.
Well, and this penalty is going to hurt them again too, and they've been hurt by a couple of key penalties, and we're going to have to put this one down as another one. That's an illegal block below the waist. That's the signal by Grant Price. The object of that, of course, is to keep the blocking up high and reduce the risk of injury.
Especially knee injuries, ones that are very costly.
Both teams now a total of 4 penalties for 40 yards. So Reynoldsburg now will try to punch something over in the closing minutes of this fourth quarter. Matheny back to throw, fires it out there long, almost picked off, intended for Troy Dursum, but incomplete. As you see Dursum get up.
Something interesting as you watch Dursum come back to the huddle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 players. I thought I had 12. No, there's only 11 on the field for Gahanna, the way they're playing defense. But now look at the coverage down here. 1, 2. Okay, you get to look at 2 of the Golden Lions down there, Paul. They only sent 3 men. They had 8 men moving back, with the wide receivers that time for Reynoldsburg.
You're right. There were a couple of players trailing number 25, the last player you saw on your screen.
Now they're digging in 4 players on the line, and they'll have 7 players drop back into a zone.
The old prevent defense.
Yes.
Now Matheny hands it off up the middle on the draw play. And the Gahanna players are signaling fumble. And yes, sir, they got it.
They got the football back.
For good reason.
And Paul running up and down the sideline of Gahanna. Bill Driesbach just tapping the players on the shoulders, giving them a little pat.
That was Tom Weller on the carry up the middle, and he fumbled it. So Gahanna's got it back now and a chance to increase its lead.
Paul, we very well may be seen not only one of the better teams in the area, but in the whole state of Ohio today in the Gahanna-Lincoln Golden Lions.
Oh, you know, you wonder how the game could be played much better than Gahanna's played it tonight.
Flawlessly.
9 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Gahanna back in business. Mike Wright, the quarterback. Now a flag on the play, and it looks like we perhaps have a delay of game.
Well, minus maybe 1 penalty flawlessly, right?
Right. Really, the penalties have been the only thing that have marred an excellent performance by Gahanna tonight.
Paul, next week should be a lot of fun. Franklin Heights with their coach Jeff Gafford going against Grove City.
Franklin Heights at Grove City, right? Looking forward to going down there. And the call was offside against Gahanna. I didn't see anybody move much. But we'll go along with it. It's going to be first down and 15. Mike Wright now on the give to...
And we've got another flag down there, Paul.
And another flag down, as Munch mentioned. You can see it almost in the middle of your screen.
You know, nothing to slight anybody, but you've got the players. You're going 2-3 deep. You're going 3-4 deep now on the bench. And it's not that they're making mistakes as much as they're anxious, Paul. They want to do something. They want to hit somebody. That's why they've been practicing long and hard. The seniors, the upperclassmen, the guys that started have been beating on them all year in practice. They want to take it out on the other team.
Well, it looks like we had a face mask call that time on Reynoldsburg.
Now, a little bit about the Franklin Heights defense, Paul. We see the defense today, the Gahanna-Lincoln Golden Lions, last week against Independence. You ready for this one? Franklin Heights held Independence to minus 40 yards rushing.
Oh,
28
Lord.
total yards on the game.
Okay, the call is a face mask violation against Reynoldsburg, and the penalty was half the distance to the goal. Ball spotted on the 11-yard line, so it's going to be first down and just 2 yards to go for the first down now.
8:54 and counting.
That's kind of confusing. First and 2. With the ball is number 23, Don Pritchard.
You know what? Wright ran that option that time just like Mr. Driesbach does. Nobody knew where the ball was. We've got our MVPs today, Paul, and our offensive player of the game. There you see him, receiver for Reynoldsburg, Troy Dersum, honored by Fastlube. Defensive player for Gahanna-Lincoln, Don Davis, number 60. He called the signals in the middle. He was everywhere.
First down, goal to go for Gahanna now. Wright will send Bob Olson, number 84, wide to the near side. And he's going to hand it off to number 33, Phil Smith. And Phil Smith takes it up to about the 6 or 7 yard line. A couple of yards picked up by Phil Smith. Phil Smith, one of the smaller players on this Gahanna team, 5'3", 147 pounds. Now let's look at our other MVPs.
No doubt about it. Bill Driesbach, the quarterback for Gahanna-Lincoln, honored by Graham Ford. And Matt Schedenhelm, number 28, defensive player of the game for Reynoldsburg. He was on tons of tackles today, Paul.
Good game for Matt. So on second down, 8 yards to go now. Second down, goal to go.
Second man through. Once again, it's 38 this time. I thought that was Phil Smith again. It's Donnie Smith.
Donnie Smith.
No, you got to love Phil Smith, Donnie Smith. They're getting the football, Paul. They're putting their heads down. They're taking on tacklers. They don't even care about their blockers. These are the kind of kids that get in the game. They don't care if the linemen fall flat down. They want to take on a couple defensive players one-on-one.
Third down, 7. A couple of more new faces in the game. As you see, Phil Smith coming back into the lineup. Coming off is Sterling Packer.
You know, something else that's happening. Not only is the clock being eaten up, but now the Gahanna-Lincoln Golden Line defense is only 7 minutes and 19 seconds away from a shutout. 8 quarters in a row. That's great.
It is third down and 7 now. Gahanna trying to put some more points on the board. They've got 34 already. Now the handoff is to Radcliffe, and Radcliffe over the 4 before he's brought down.
Oh, he got popped. 35, Gary Young there to meet him, and Gary saying, you know what, dude, we're still going to hit you hard. This one might be out of reach for us, but we're going to come at you.
Correction, that was Chad Isley, number 48. Dave Radcliffe, the starting fullback, is resting up right now. Chad Isley, 6'5", 185 pounds, and a junior. So now, 4th down, goal to go from the 4-yard line. What are they going to do? They're going to go for it, of course.
Interesting here, Mr. Wright is rather tricky. I'd like to see him move out to his right or left with the football, to run an option. He could pass the ball or hand it off to one of two backs.
Let's see if they run this one behind Mike Holmes, number 73. Man in motion. The give up the middle is they're running it over Holmes' hole, but there's no hole there. The give again was to Chad Isley, and Isley was stacked up short of the touchdown. So Reynoldsburg holds.
And 61, I believe that's Carl Long once again. Wow, he's been very active for Reynoldsburg. No, Steve Warren, I'm sorry, on the tackle that time for Reynoldsburg. He warded off three blockers that time by Gahanna to make that stop.
Well, you got to give him a lot of credit for sticking in there with 6 minutes and 22 seconds to go in the ball game. And again, Munch, you look over this crowd and nobody has left. Everybody is staying put.
I'm looking for that guy in the gold and blue Winnebago who had the grill going before the game, Paul.
Was really somebody out there with a gold and blue Winnebago?
Yeah. Well, not the whole thing. He had curtains that were gold.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not going to fib to you.
Now Matheny, the give to Aaron Browning of Reynoldsburg.
You know, Johnny Sanders made the tackle. He's been back playing center field so much tonight. He wanted to get in there and pop somebody near the line of scrimmage, too.
Clock running under 6 minutes to go now. Gahanna leading Reynoldsburg 34-0.
Well, beautiful evening. It was kind of nasty this afternoon.
Kind of nasty this afternoon, but it's cooled off real well. Now the give is to 38. That is Jimmy Harris, rather.
That's
He's a sophomore.
Sure, I think that was 79. Roger Garrett. Roger Garrett made the stop that time.
And Jimmy Harris didn't go for much at all. It's going to be 3rd down and 7.
Paul, we're seeing also, you talked about the superior conditioning, but also the strength, which goes along with that conditioning. The more you train, the harder you train, you're going to get a little stronger, too, and these Gahanna guys are showing us that tonight.
Under 5 minutes to play. Now Reynoldsburg trying to move it. But 3rd down and 7 to go, but they're deep in their own territory. Ball is on the 6-yard line of Reynoldsburg. Now Matheny back looking to throw. Intended out there. It's going to be picked off.
24 with
Jason Schaub. Still on his feet. There's a flag on the play. Driven out of bounds.
Another flag, Paul.
Jason Schaub, a senior, 171 pounds. Wearing number 24. Watch Jason Schaub step in and pick this one off.
And Reynoldsburg's throwing the ball, Paul. They're not giving up. They want to get some points on the board, at least ruin those goose. Oh, and Garrett popped Matheny that time.
And you see Schaub at the bottom of your screen step in, and nice catch.
Now 51, Carl Long is going to come over in here and just level him. Nice strong tackle. Paul, I'm surprised that with the score it is that Mr. Matheny still is in the game for Reynoldsburg. It's still a long season. This defeat would be the first one in conference play. They're in a different division of the OCC, so give some of the other guys a shot in their quarterback.
We'd like to extend a very special thank you to the folks at ACTV Channel 21 for carrying our high school games on cable. Columbus Cable Systems continue to be reluctant to carry TV8's great programming. If you'd like to see TV8 carried full-time by your cable system, why not call or write your city government or cable system and tell them, I want TV8 on cable.
That's what I want. I wanted to sing again. Hey, what a perfect way to spend your Sunday, though. Get up, cup of coffee, head off to church, and come back and watch the ball game on 21.
Well, clipping was the call against Gahanna. And that's going to move the ball back to the 29-yard line of Reynoldsburg, so that'll give Reynoldsburg a little bit of breathing room. There you see Grant Price with the signal. That is penalty number 7 for Gahanna, a total of 60 yards.
Now, to show you how well they're playing, some teams that have been penalized 60 yards, that would have broken their backs. Oh, no, we've got a personal foul now?
Let's see now. That was the call. Okay, they apparently decided they marked it off from the wrong. Well, back at Gahanna, where Gahanna has come up with a very impressive 34-0 win over Reynoldsburg. Gahanna's second straight victory of the 1987 season. Let's go down to the field now, where Munch is with winning coach Phil Koppel.
I'm honored to introduce the head coach of the Gahanna Lincoln Golden Lions, Coach Phil Koppel. And, Coach, I'm looking at the scoreboard, 34-0. And I had a little comment to the coach when he came over before he went on camera. I said it was textbook, and he shook his head. A few penalties there, but how many teams do you know that can survive penalties like you did and still come out 34-0?
Well, that's true. We did what we had to do, but the coach is never happy to see that many mistakes. And early in the season, you tolerate them, but down the road, those kind of mistakes can cost you a football game.
They definitely can. Your quarterback, Bill Driesbach. Now, I've seen college players run the option. I have never seen a player at his level be as sneaky as he was handing off the ball. Now, he had weapons, but is this something that you have developed, or has he always been that quick and sleight of hand with the ball?
Well, Bill has worked very hard. And when I think back to his freshman year, and he could barely throw a pass, and he has just improved and improved and improved, and he takes a great deal of pride in everything that he does. He's a very intense young man, and I think he'll get better as the year goes on, too. He hasn't shown half of what he can do.
And another thing that was interesting is that you had the Golden Lions. They were moving the ball outside. They were moving it off tackle, off guard, off center. Is that your game plan, Coach, just to keep the defense off balance, use all the weapons that you do have?
Well, I think so. With the type of offense we have, it's somewhat of an imbalanced line with our wing set, and so we try to take advantage of what teams give us. If they give us a little bit more to the weak side, we try to use that. If they allow us to run to the wing side, we do that. And I think with any offense that you have, there are certain parts of the defense you try to exploit, just depending what they give you. And I felt tonight the one thing that we did pretty well, our offensive line came off the ball better, especially the second half, and I think that had a lot to do with our success.
You know, speaking about people firing off, the gentleman that just impressed me, now your whole defense did a great job, 8 quarters now of scoreless football, but Don Davis there in the middle, this guy was everywhere. He was sliding down the line, he was making tackles, and do you let him pretty much help out on the alignments with the coaches when you call the plays into him? Do you let him ever call anything audibly defensively?
No, for the most part, it's signaled in. There are several times where he will have to make a change, but for the most part, we like him just thinking about what he has to do and not having to worry about audibles. But the way our defense is set up, the middle linebacker is virtually free, and we expect him to be there, and Donnie is living in a tradition of our middle linebackers.
Well, I'll tell you something. He stood out right away, and John Sanders, 88, had a lot of fun playing center field. The guys just did played a great game. Your special teams were on, and Coach, I could wish you nothing but good luck. I mentioned earlier, I've never met Coach Koppel before, but we were honored. Not only did we see one of the finer football teams in the area, your fans are superb, just the tradition surrounding Gahanna Lincoln football. It's a tribute to you, sir.
Well, it's a tribute to this town. They like their football. We do, too.
There's no doubt about it. You know, I've got to get over to a tailgate party. They were grilling some... Wait for me. They were grilling some chicken out there for me. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And thank you, Munch, with Coach
Back
Phil
to Paul
Koppel.
in the booth.
Thank you very much. 34-0, the final score. Again, let's have a quick look at the final statistics. For Gahanna, first of all, on total yardage, 251 to put those 34 points on the board. 188 yards of those came on the ground, 63 through the air, 4 of 8 completions. For Reynoldsburg, 138 total yards, 37 on the ground, 101 through the air. Attempts, 21. Completions, 8. Turnovers for Reynoldsburg, 3. Just 1 for Gahanna. And the time of possession, pretty well even. 25 minutes, 31 seconds for Reynoldsburg and 22:29 for Gahanna. In the first down department, 8 first downs for Reynoldsburg, 12 for Gahanna. So the final score, once again, is Gahanna Lincoln, 34, Reynoldsburg, nothing. For Mark Munch Bishop, the rest of the TV8 crew, I'm Paul Cox. Thanks for joining us.